Welcome everybody. It's been so long since I've done this. I had to remember where the go live button was. I hope everybody's doing well. And you're making some money.
Oh, Style for Life. I've never seen them before, so they must be new, huh? Or they've been around.
Who?
Style for Life.
Yeah.
I think they were in here first.
Yeah, they were. And I think they left. Tracy, you got time to come in for a little bit? I'll give you the link if you do.
I see Steven. He's in here.
Yeah, I saw him up there too. And Steven, if you want to come in too, I can throw the link out there. Always interested in new people. Okay, I've got to get down. I'm not starting this crap tonight. I'll put you up. Hey, Nathaniel. Hope you're doing good tonight. Okay. Well, if you change your mind, let me know. Get them pictures taken.
Hello, Natalie. Was it Nathan Lee?
Nathaniel Lee.
Nathaniel, okay.
Yeah. So, y'all made it. You didn't get much rain from the storm.
I hit like well, originally like Saturday when I went to the garage sale and hit one, it was like 6:30, and I got 6:30 and like opened the door and Kate. I don't know if you ever seen pictures of Cajun reseller, tall, yeah. Redheaded, so sticks out like a sore thumb. So as I opened it, walk in the doors, you can see him looking for stuff, but there's a lot of new stuff and all that. But it was like selling for $2, but it still had the original price tag of $5. Like Dollar General stuff.
Right.
A lot of that stuff, there was nothing there. So we both walked out buying nothing. And then there was another garage sale not far from there, which I didn't see on Garage Sale Finder or Craigslist. He said it was actually on Facebook. He said it was actually a couple on Facebook. One was in my neighborhood and didn't even know it. So we hit the church sale, and he found a jersey. It must have been like a 20 extra large. I mean, you hold it up like if I'm standing up holding it like this, it's hitting the ground.
Dang.
That's what I'm saying. I couldn't believe it. To me, it would be too big to be a bar piece or something like that. So it had NFL on the tag, but it did not have the size on it. But it was huge and all that. But he got that like part of a $10 lot. He got some like plush, Scooby-Doo plush, a couple other things, and they said $10 for everything. And I wasn't paying up like in the same. That was like a clothing room. He found some plush, but like in the toy room, I guess watching Buffalo Picker and all that kind of stuff with the Barbies, I got that for $2. Well, brand new. Some of these are selling for $50 to $100. And then when I scanned the barcode on this, it pulled up $75. So I got 3 of these and 2 of these, all for in a jersey, a paintball jersey for $7. The paintball jerseys should get me about $30 to $50 probably.
What was that? I knew it was a doll, but who was it?
Some type of kid. It's actually by Swartz, whatever. Came from FAO Swartz, actually.
Right.
Well, I got 2 different ones.
Oh, Anastasia.
So actually, when I hit the barcode, not on this one, but the other one, it pulled up like $75. It was selling for. But it was a different type. But I got 3 different ones like this, and like you said, this is Peter the Great or Caesar Nichols. And I got another one. I said I only paid $2 for this one and $2 for the other one, and $1 each for the dresses.
Right.
So if I wouldn't have bought that, Natalie would probably have caught that. Because she was when I was holding it and picking that, she was walking in. So Cliff Rader would have got those probably.
Was one of them Nicholas?
Yeah, Nicholas, Caesar Nicholas.
Yeah, Czar Nicholas.
Yeah, I remember. Let's see if we can help. But they're kind of all over the board. Some of them $30, but I mean, a couple of these dresses, one person had 2 different dresses. 2 of them sold for $199.99. You know, like it was a lot of 2 that sold for $200.
Right. Yeah, when I was in high school, the whole Russian thing was a big interest of mine, and I did several term papers on it and whatnot. Yeah, that's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, like I said, I never would have thought of buying that stuff, you know, and all that, you know. What made me think of it, like Barbie, so that's like dolls over there. I picked it up and hit the barcode on it, and you know, so I'm taking that with me, especially at that cheaper price.
Right. It's you know, some of that stuff is,
you know,
really
probably worth a lot more. The box is better condition. The box, condition ain't the best, but still, you get some collectors that want the dresses for themselves, you know.
Right. Now, FAO Schwartz went out of business.
Yeah, they went out of business. I think it was a big place in New York or somewhere like that, but I don't remember exactly, you know.
Right.
If you look on the back, like you said, I meant, yeah.
Right. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they went to, hey, Cindy R.
And what's weird is made in China. This was 1997, you know.
It's,
Hello, Beth.
hey, Beth, you want to come in for a visit?
So then, like I said, Sunday at a estate sale, one I actually ran into Cajun reseller again. Got this for 50 cents. You know,
Is that for one of those electric racing cars?
Yeah, RC remotes.
Yeah.
I guess they got little holes in the top, so where the studs go through and little quarter pins you used to hold it on. But brand new goes like for $20, you know. All that, but I got it for 50 cents. So man, I'll be able to send that first class, you know, and wrap it up in bubble wrap. You know, you got $15 on it, you know, or $19.99 free shipping, you know.
My younger brother was into those racing cars,
right?
And there was a shopping center down in Rock Hill that let him race in the front parking lot on Sundays,
right?
And I was standing there with a pair of flip-flops on, and he ran into the side, right into my ankle with that thing.
So you can rip it off because those things
I
go like
I thought
50 miles an hour.
My ankle was broken.
Yeah, they go. I mean, the average ones go 50 miles an hour and 30 to 50 miles an hour. They got some of them that go 100.
Right?
You know?
Yeah, and they're quick, and they'll go from 0 to break your ankle in just a minute. Hey, Beth.
Hello,
hey. Trying to mute myself. Hold on.
She mentioned something on Facebook about Poshmark's doing invoicing or something like that. I need to find out what she's talking about on that.
They've, I don't know. I'm getting ready to take all my stuff down off of Poshmark. I don't do enough with eBay, more or less, to try to do with Poshmark.
Yeah, hey, I just put up like 15 or 20 about 15 board games because if you can send it out for $7.50 a board game, that's a lot better than eBay. You know?
Yeah,
eBay's gonna pay double on that. You know,
got a point there. How are you doing, Beth?
You know?
Hey guys.
How are you tonight?
Sorry about that. I've got 2 chats going, one from my previous show, and I was trying to figure out which one was the pop-out chat for the right show. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good.
What are we talking about?
Just everything.
Just everything. We were talking about some yard sales and whatnot. I think a lot of people around here are trying to make serious money off of their yard sales, and maybe to pay mortgages and stuff like that. because there's no, I mean,
Yeah, some people aren't even working right now.
yeah.
And we went back to phase 2, so all our bars are being shut down again. The restaurant's going back to 50% capacity.
It's Maggie. The link is over in the group chat. Sorry I didn't get there. I had to run some errands. Beth.
Yeah.
I want you to know, though, I am journaling. I've started journaling.
Oh, good. I'm so proud of you. You're going to get organized? Not that you're not already organized, but.
It's
Look behind him. He's organized.
He is, yeah. I imagine.
I've started carrying a spiral bound notebook with me. I've been writing, I write it down like ideas for YouTube shows and things that I need to go like, oh, what did I do with such and such that I bought? And writing down what I did that day.
That's great.
My middle son is a big journaler. He gets in when he gets in the car when I pick him up. He's sitting over there clicking on that daggum phone because he's got some kind of program that it stores it on the cloud somewhere, and then he prints it out and puts it in a binder. But he's a big journaler. But I was trying to get a little bit.
Well, I just put out a video about an hour ago on bullet journaling, so if you haven't watched it, and the theme of this month is Janis Joplin. So shows how I did it from start to finish. So I just stopped in to say hey, and I've got to go pack orders, and I have to go into the office tomorrow for a few hours, so I just thought I would come in and say hey.
All right, you got to go into the office. Did you say tomorrow? Tomorrow?
Yeah. I go in on Tuesdays and do some of the accounting work that I can't do from home, pick up the checks and create a deposit and all that. So I have to put my hands on some things for a couple of hours. So, but we don't have any clients coming in. We haven't had clients in the office for probably 2 months now. So I don't imagine that's going to start up until like November or so. So my boss is there every day, but he gets tired of not seeing people. So he buys me lunch and, I get things caught up. So
can I ask you what you do or what the company does? I'm sure you've told me, but
I run a mediation center. My bosses are attorneys and they're mediators and arbitrators. And a lot of the work that I do is time sensitive because of the courts. However, the courts aren't really open right now, but they still have deadlines and stuff like that. So yeah, he gives me wine, but right now my corkscrew is broken. So, hey, David, the truth. I haven't seen you in ages, dude. Good to see you here. You need to come back on my channel. I haven't seen you forever. So, anyway. Well, y'all have a great night. I need to go pack orders, okay? And,
all right.
I will see you later.
Okay,
all right, thanks for coming on.
All right, bye-bye.
And if there is anybody that has not subscribed to her channel, please do so. And Hickory Springs, I just put the link in the chat if you want to come in.
Well, Tom, how many items you got on there? You only got maybe like 20 items, huh? Okay. I share your closet every once in a while. It's been a while.
I just did. Well, I quit doing it because of all the sharing. Right. And now they're saying not to do all the sharing.
The other day I was sharing, I share like 9 o'clock. That means you don't have to share certain items and certain shoes. You can just do anything. And I sold something there.
Really?
Sharing, within a couple of minutes, I had a items sold.
Well, I was talking about like sharing everybody else's because there was one person, I can't remember who it was, that was talking about they got put in timeout or something. Because they had shared too many or something of that sort.
Well, I don't know if you've done it. If you can actually rapid fire share, if you line your cursor up, you just kind of click like Morse code, I can share 10 items and have like show the like little counter of the shares where it's like 0. And after sharing 10 items and maybe 10 times each, I'll have 20 shares where people have shared my items. You tell where you can see where people are sharing my items, you know. And a lot of time I'll do that on theirs, you know, in certain parties, go in there and just rapid fire, do it real quick, real fast. You know,
Right.
I'll just do that in maybe the 9 o'clock. You know, if I'm like got nothing work going on, you know, I might be sure like during the shoe party, you know, share my shoes. I only got maybe like 10 pair, but seldom I ever share anybody else's stuff. I guess I share more of my stuff, but every once in a while I'll do like onesies from people, especially if they follow me or if they like one of my items or share one of my items. I'll go in my news category. Whoever liked or shared my item, share one of their items. You know.
Hickory Springs says her posh closet's been on vacation since November. I can't stand the sharing and low ball offers.
Right.
The couple of things I've actually sold on there, they've just bought it at the price. I didn't get an offer or anything on it. So,
well, like last week, I had a decent week. I sold a blue jean jacket for like $115, like a state trooper hat, like a straw hat type set for like $70, and a pair of shoes maybe for $25 or $30.
right.
And I paid $5 for the hat at a garage sale and bought 4 of them. And I got 3 more left. The jacket I paid, I think, no more than $15 at a state sale. It was a blue jean jacket, Levi's.
Right.
It was like made in USA, and still had like what I call the secondary tag, you know, like the brown tag. Well, it had the extension of the brown tag still attached to it. So that jacket might have been worn once or never worn, you know.
Right.
And I got $115 for it. I actually had like $155, and they came back with 100. And I shot it back with $115, and they bought it pretty quick. But I stayed on that. I've been having that for like a year, but still, you know, I got my money out of it.
Right. Did you sign up for managed payments yet?
Yeah, I finally did the other day. Actually, it must have been like the 15th and like the 17th or 18th when I did it. But then, like, they didn't recognize my bank, so I had to go to the credit union, get them to make me like a letter form and all that. And it's basically they just like a direct deposit type deal.
Right.
So I had to do the same thing for my other one, you know, my shop bank, which is, you know, a different bank account. And they didn't recognize the bank. They pulled up the bank, but didn't recognize it. So I had to go get them to make me a form letter, you know, and I photoshopped it and all that, or took a photo of it and all that and sent it to them about all that. And they say about 2 days. But on my other one, I actually called them. As soon as I emailed it to them, I called them and got a phone call from the UK an hour later. And so it's this UK call. So I called it as eBay. I said, I want to make sure y'all got my information. So let me check and see if I don't have you know, I'm not allowed to see that information, bank information. But he made a call and said, yep, it's all good. So I guess whenever they'll push it through, I guess I should qualify for it. But I'm just waiting for my personal, my work eBay to go through now.
Right.
And all that. And so they haven't got no call back yet, but I might call them tomorrow and find out, you know.
I didn't have any problem getting them to recognize the bank and whatnot. So now I'm just sitting and waiting.
Right.
And seeing what they have, you know, what's going on with that. I guess, you know, it looks like well, you know, Hickory Springs, you're not going to have a choice. You're going to have to go to managed payments.
Yeah, no, if you got coins or maybe certain items they're not going to recognize or something.
Right.
I'm not sure how that's going to work down the road, but you know, I guess.
Yeah, Tracy was all upset because she's not going to be able to sell all of her adult paraphernalia now on eBay. Because that was one of the categories that they're not allowing any, or managed payments not doing. Oh, you're waiting on the email. I never got one.
Okay, Tracy's saying they changed their tone on the coin, so I guess something happened, you know.
Hey, Jim and Tara. There's the link. And there's like 18 people watching, so if anybody wants to come in, there's the link. Tracy, we were talking about a group of people that were talking about the adult paraphernalia, and I came close to opening up another store because I looked at wholesalers. You can buy that crap cheap, and it sells for good money. But about the time I started looking into it, that's when I saw where they wouldn't allow managed payments to process it. So I just kind of let it drop. How's your store for the shop doing?
It's doing okay. Like I said, I sold like 6 items this morning, a couple,
Right.
But the bad thing about my stuff is you can't go out and buy. Once it runs out, it runs out.
Right.
Because the stuff I'm selling is one of a kind, old stuff. And I'm starting to sell stuff on Facebook too. It's been a while, but people will look for stuff, and some guy found out about me and said, "Yeah, I got all that stuff on eBay." So I actually took some of it down. I got pictures of it in my Facebook group.
Right.
You can see it and all that. Hey, how much for this? How much for that? I said, well, I'll knock off 10. I got it for $150 on Facebook. I'll give it to you for $135. So I'll take both of them.
Hey, Tara.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Doing good. Glenn, neighbors on both sides of me, which the ones on this side are moving. These over here, just a young couple that's over here. They've been selling the daylights on Facebook neighborhood or whatever it's called.
Yeah, Marketplace.
Yeah, Marketplace. And I put a pair of roller skates on there, and I put it on there first thing in the morning, and by about 1 o'clock, somebody wanted them.
But when I say Facebook, see, I'm talking about Australia, UK, California. I'm in all these different bike groups, because I got vintage bike groups for KTMs, for
Right.
80s, 90s, and big bore bikes and all that, Japanese vintage bikes and all that. And he said, hey, like I said, this guy that called me today is about Japanese vintage bikes, which I do more KTM, but I still have some stuff back from the 70s and 80s and all that. And if you're restoring a bike, like if you buy a Corvette and put certain Jeb exhaust, well, you wouldn't put a fuse wheels on there because they didn't have fuse wheels back then.
Right.
You put stuff on it that's, especially if you want to date it. If you're racing it or being a show car, you might want to say that. But people that are wanting to restore it back to dated racing material or back to showroom condition. So you got basically 3 forms of restoring a bike: race condition, which if you're racing vintage, you don't care what you put on there as long as it can run. Then you got bringing it back to the 80s. So back then they did run FMF or Goodyear tires and stuff like that. Or you got showroom condition, which makes every OEM, every part of that bike's gonna be OEM.
Right.
So basically you got 3 forms of rebuilding a bike. And that's what he's doing, trying to put dated material on his rebuilt bike.
Yesterday, or the day before yesterday, Roberta and I were out, and we stopped at a stoplight, and a guy with his girlfriend on the back of it came up on a Triumph.
Right.
And that thing was so quiet.
Right.
You didn't. I thought at first it was an electric until he, started moving off because he was turning, and so he turned.
Do they make those 4 cycles now, like those Triumphs? Yeah, like snowmobiles. You used to have snowmobiles would be loud; they'd be 2 cycle, and then they started putting more of the 4 cycle engines in them. And I wonder if they're doing that with motorcycles too because of emissions.
Well, actually, 4-stroke dirt bikes are louder than
Really?
2-stroke.
I know it's snowmobiles. They're a lot quieter. And like if you went and snowmobiled in Yellowstone, you can't go in there with a 2-cycle, with a 2-stroke snowmobile engine. They all have to be 4-stroke.
Yeah, it's a difference. Like 4-stroke dirt bikes, you got a different pitch. You got different muffler systems. Snowmobiles all encased. too, you know. But like I said, on a dirt bike, you know, it's just like
Yeah.
I gotta wear earplugs around 4-stroke sometimes, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It might be loud, but it's not, you know, decibel loud.
Never owned a 4-stroke snow, but we got out of snowmobiles by then, so really, we were too cheap. We always owned older stuff.
Well, y'all have you have a few motorcycles, though, don't you?
Yeah, Jim's got a few. He's got some Yamaha. He's mostly got. He might have one Honda, and then he's mostly got Yamahas.
Or he has what, street or dirt?
Street.
Okay.
He's got like a 1971. That's the one he mostly rides. It's a 650. I don't remember what number it is. It's a 650, but it's sort of like based off of like that, you know, like an English style motorcycle. It's got like an orange. I call it like a burnt red and white tank. It's a nice sled. I mean, a nice motorcycle. We had a guy that bought. We sold off some motorcycle stuff before we left Wisconsin, and he tried to. We bought that motorcycle. And Jim rides it. I think we paid $400 for it. He fixed it up some. It was in good shape though. And that guy opened his checkbook up and he tried to buy it off of Jim for $3,800. And Jim's like, no, I like it. I'm gonna keep it. And then he said, just tell me the amount and I'll pay it to you. And Jim's like, no. And I'm like, Jesus, Jim, I think I'd have sold it, but that's me.
Yeah, sell it for like 5,000 and then go buy another something else.
Yeah, and he might buy a more modern motorcycle eventually. He won't own a Harley.
Right.
But I said, well, just go get yourself one of those, you know, like Polaris makes that. Is that a Victory? Go get something like that if you want. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, there's not many dealerships that sell those, you know.
I want to get a Polaris Slingshot, but I'm thinking I'd like to get like the Can-Am Spider just because looks a lot like a snowmobile. I think it'd be fun to ride.
Well, the Can-Am Spider, that thing's like rides on rails. I had one in front of me one time, darted me out of traffic, and that thing was like on rails. Couldn't believe how smooth it was being on 3 wheels.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I've never ridden one, but I mean, I was like, well, that'd be fun because we gave up snowmobiling. I think that'd be. Jim would like me to motorcycle with him. I really have no interest in riding like a regular traditional motorcycle, and he doesn't want to. He won't buy something where we ride 2 up because he doesn't like somebody riding behind him. So I'm like, well, I'd maybe do one of those Can-Am Spiders.
The Slingshots are pretty sweet looking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's got like that. That's got like a GM engine in it. Yeah, they're cool looking too. But I mean, like brand new, they're not real expensive. They're like 22,000. But then I'm like, if I went and got, and this is all talk, if I went and got a Can-Am Spider used, I mean, I could probably find one from $7,000 to $8,000, and then I'd just go buy myself like a Dodge Challenger if I want to drive a car around.
It's been, the boys were little, so it's been quite a while. But we went up to the mountains. I went to Cherokee to the casino. And that was the first time I'd been back to Cherokee since I was probably 13 years old. Anyway, they were having is it Honda Goldwing? Is it Honda makes a Goldwing?
Yeah.
Okay, well, they were having a Goldwing trike convention up there. And Roberta was like, you know, we ought to get us one of those. That'd be fun just for the 2 of us.
Yeah.
So on the way home, this was back when they still had do y'all remember the Auto Trader magazines, newspapers?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we stopped and filled up gas, and she bought one of those things, and she started flipping through that thing. And she's like, nah, we can buy a car for the price of this for a trike.
Have you ever been on that, like, what's that road called? Is that North Carolina, that Tail of the Dragon? Is that, like, up towards Asheville?
Yeah.
That looks
like... A couple of
like...
done it on dirt, like dual-purpose bikes, like dirt bikes.
Oh, yeah.
And also, like, on street bikes or cars.
Yeah.
You know, they got, like, at the middle of it, they take photos of it and all that.
Yeah, there's a photographer, and then you get some of them where they wipe out and that on it.
Right.
That looks like that'd be... I've never been to North Carolina, but actually that looks like that'd be kind of cool to go check out.
Right. There's a couple. see too, like that.
During the summer, they have a lot of the bikers go up and they ride on the Blue Ridge Parkway because it's just snaky. I mean, you know, it's just curvy, and if you run off the side with the side that's not got the mountain on it, you're going to fall about 2,000 feet. But anyway, during the summer, there's a lot of bikes up on the Blue Ridge Parkway riding.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, Jim will buy. There was a 3-wheeler trike, and I'm like, oh, Jim, you could buy that, and we'll just ride together. But he won't let me ride behind him on a motorcycle. He's a real jerk that way.
Well, make you get on the back. Get on the back. You drive, and him ride on the back.
No, because he's always like, you don't let me drive anywhere. I'm not gonna buy I don't want to buy something cool, and then I don't ever get to drive it.
Yeah, I know somebody. The restaurant I eat at sometimes, one of the waitresses, she was like in her 60s, and she died a couple of weeks ago on a trike. Her wheel hit the curb, and I guess it high-sided, and when I guess it threw her, it landed on her or something like that.
Somebody told me that they're kind of hard to steer and stuff. They're a little bit weird. Like on a bike, you have to lean the opposite way on a trike.
Right. Yeah, same thing when I used to ride 3-wheelers. You know, whenever you would go like this, turn in, you'd almost get on the other side, and or turn within. You almost lean into the turn. You know.
Yeah.
I was coming out of I dropped Sergey off at work, and as I was coming out of where he works at, there was a couple with one of the, like that Polaris thing I just mentioned.
Oh,
and I stopped and I got out and I said, excuse me, I got a question for you. And he said, sure. And I said, do you have to have a motorcycle license for this one? And he said, wait a minute. Yes, Stephen, I can't see him riding on the back of.
Now, Jim only drives motorcycle. He don't like me. I mean, he had to give me a ride on the back of his motorcycle somewhere, and he bitches about it the whole time. He don't like anybody riding behind him.
But he said that one you don't have to have one. North Carolina just changed their laws like last year.
Depends what state it is.
You don't have to have
a car. One of them is classified as a car. One of them was.
Yeah, the one with the wheels in the front, the wheels, you know, the 2 wheels on the front is falls under.
How can they classify it as a car when it doesn't have the same safety features as a car? Yeah. That's the problem, that they put a motorcycle title on it.
Yeah. I think it's more of a sit down whenever you get a chair or whatever.
Yeah.
I know that Can-Am is like a bike.
Can-Am is a motor. You need a motorcycle's license for that. I know.
That's the one with the front wheel. I mean, a single.
Yeah,
wheel.
it looks like it's got 2 wheels in the front and 1 in the back. It kind of looks like a snowmobile with wheels instead of a track and skis.
Stephen, Jim does whatever Tara tells him. Okay, I'll get off your back tonight, Jim. How's business been, Tara?
All right.
You've been going to a lot of auctions?
Still plugging along. Well, there hasn't been. Well, Kentucky's getting kind of re-locked down again, so they kind of canceled a whole bunch of auctions up here again. So they put the mandated mask thing here, so that made a lot of the live auctions decide just not to hold them, and they've been doing some online ones. But I think the beginning of August there's supposed to be like some live auctions, so we'll see what happens. I still have that stuff I'm working through that I did that video on, all that Tota stuff.
Right.
I still have a bit of that to list yet. We've been doing some other stuff too. So, and I mean, I can figure out enough stuff to list to get me through.
Yeah, we're waiting for November 3rd for the virus to go away.
Yeah, we're waiting till November.
It's going away November 3rd, so November 4th you can all throw your masks away.
Well, Tom, I'm gonna take off. I gotta catch up on the work and all that.
All right, have a good night, Glenn.
Thank you, Glenn.
Okay, man. See you, man. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Why do you think November 3rd is going to be a problem?
No, I said then the Corona
goes away.
That's the day Corona goes away.
Yeah.
If it ain't no good for the election, nobody's going to care. It's gonna be like the regular flu. That it's just gonna be forgotten, or car accidents, or any of the 100 other ways you die.
Oh my God, we had this product. It came from that auction. It's this Aquamira stuff. It's this water treatment, like that you
Mhm.
can put in your RV or if you camp. You know, it's like so you don't get sick on your water or whatever. Is it chlorine dioxide or something like that? So we were
Right.
selling it. We're doing. I mean, we were doing good. We were selling it for $25 a pop, and we sold quite a few of them. And then eBay pulled our listing because somewhere in South America they're trying to use it to treat COVID. So they pulled our listing and asked us not to relist it, which I kind of thought, well, that's kind of bull. I mean, it's a legal product for me to sell. You know, it isn't like it's prescription. It doesn't have a restriction. You can go to the store and buy it, but they decided they don't want me to sell it.
But one did go to France.
One did go to
Yeah,
France.
so I don't know if they're doing it in France.
Well, I will be so glad when it goes away.
Yeah.
You know, like Jim said, November the 3rd, it's going to just like everything's going to open back up.
Yeah, we got about 3 months.
Yeah.
I mean, I guarantee you, because it don't matter who wins the election, it'll no longer be a political issue. Everything will reopen. The kids will go back to school. The teachers, won't care anymore.
They've just got they've got this crazy schedule here to try to get the kids back.
Well, Brian is supposed to go back to school like the 25th or 26th. I wonder if they're going to do it because I know our governor putting more restrictions on. I would be almost shocked if they go back, but we'll see what happens.
Our little Canadian girl is in the chat now.
Uh-oh.
Just Pamela says second wave when Trump wins. You're correct there. If I was governor, and I'd be the most hated governor in the history of North Carolina, probably the most hated governor in the history of the United States of America.
Hey, old school picker.
Hey, old school. I would tell them we're going to start school the Monday after Thanksgiving. And then we're going to do 186 days. That's what's required. And if we'll try to give you a week between this school year and the next school year. But if we don't, too bad, so sad.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think they're just I said the first Monday after Thanksgiving. I meant the first Monday in November. Because I think they're just screwing everything up, by trying to go back and do these. One week they go to school, and next week they don't go to school. They do homeschooling and whatnot.
You have two. Our school district, you have two options. You can go for traditional learning, so you go to school, but you're going to have like safety stuff implemented, and then you can do the online schooling where you stay home and do it online. If you go, I'm sending my kid back to school because otherwise I don't really want him around all day and all night. I don't love them, but I think it is good for him to go to school.
Right.
But they're going to have to wear masks. They're going to have to social distance in the classroom. They're going to have temperature checks when they go to the school, and some other stuff. I would be almost shocked if they don't have to go get COVID testing or something when they go back to school. Most of it happens.
I just think it's going to be. I think it's just going to be a total mess again. They just need to push it back, because if it's not done, if this is not cleared up by November, we're going to have some major problems because people are going to really be losing their crap because they can't pay bills and whatnot.
Well, I feel bad. I mean, like here in Kentucky today, I mean, we don't have bars in the county I live in, but they shut down all the the bars again, the standalone bars. Restaurants can only have 25% capacity indoors. They can have 100% outdoors as long as there's social distancing. But you put a lot, I mean, I feel bad for those people in those industries. I mean, knock on wood, I mean, the COVID thing financially didn't really impact me because online sales were strong enough. But I do feel really bad for the people like, you know, in those kind of industries.
We just got free money from the government.
Yeah.
For the
You're going to get some more.
Yeah, we're going to get some more. I mean, we don't need it. I mean, it's, I hope we can pay it.
I wish they weren't giving it away because eventually down the road, somebody's going to have to pay this back in.
Yeah, the last one wiped us out. I mean, we're going to have to give 100% of this bailout is going to be borrowed from probably mostly from China if they'll still borrow us money. I mean, who else are we going to borrow from? Greece? Russia? Who's going to borrow some money to pay this?
It's going to be, you know.
I think everybody, instead of everybody worrying about how much crap they can get for the government, maybe people should start worrying about how much they can pay the government to get it back out of debt.
Yeah, because it's like this. Maybe y'all and me and Roberta won't be paying this back.
Our children will.
Our children will.
Yeah.
Pamela said that she's still off of work. I thought Canada was the land of opportunity and milk and honey.
Their prime minister, didn't the prime minister's wife get it? I mean, they had COVID up there pretty good. I mean, how do you stop it? I mean, it just spreads. I mean, it's like, you know, how do you stop it?
I was being sarcastic because everybody says that it's so wonderful in Canada.
Mm.
Which
and now the third shoe fell for 2020. Now we got aliens. I hear.
We got what?
Aliens.
We got aliens.
Yeah, didn't you hear Tucker Carlson had like something where they're talking about these unidentified flying objects that have been flying around and stuff like that? I'm like, oh great. We had the COVID, we had, what was the other thing? Whatever, and now we have aliens.
Maggie posted it, said dozens of restaurants here have closed for good. They're closing here.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
Speaking of which, if you have a Catherine's nearby anybody, you might want to check them out because they're closing their stores. They're just going to online only. Right now, they're like 30 to 50% off.
Yeah, we got a JCPenney's here that's closing too in town.
But there's restaurants here that are closing out. We started having restaurants closing 3 weeks after they started shutting things down, and said that they were closed down for good.
Well, a lot of restaurants rent their space, you know. I mean, if you're a restaurant and you rent in a strip mall, I mean, rent on that restaurant is going to be at least $4,000 to $5,000 a month, depending where you're at.
Well, we have a Kmart shopping center, and it's a nice center. I mean, it's not run down like a lot of them were. Everything is closing down in it.
Yeah.
Which Jim probably knows more about this than I do, but people that I know that have had businesses in strip centers, there was a clause in their lease that said that if their key tenant leaves, then they can exercise an exit out of their lease.
Sell malls. Jim used to sell them with his dad. And I could give it, this is an example of one he sold, which was in the city that we used to live in. It was a small strip mall and had a pick and save grocery store, had a video store that they called Jabberwocky, not a chain, just a video rental by media thing, a bank, and a coffee shop. The anchor was the pick and save grocery store, which was signed to a 20-year lease. That's why they sold it once, and then 6 months later they sold it again for $1 million over. The guy that bought it made $1 million on it, reselling it right away. The great thing about it is the anchor, the pick and save, was a 20-year lease, and the lease per month, I think, was $22,000 a month in rent. So that was the anchor paid $22,000 a month for that grocery store's rent. And then you had the Jabberwock, the video store, I think was around, because he bought the video store too, so he reduced its rent some. I think that was around $3,500. The bank paid $4,500 a month. The laundromat paid like $1,500 a month, and then they had a stupid little coffee like kiosk thing that paid like $1,000 a month in there. But the great thing was the anchor on a 20-year lease, you know.
Right. I know a guy that knows a guy. I know a guy that is friends with one of the Bojangles. He's a manager of one of the Bojangles, and he said if he had his way, they would not open the dining room back up. That they would just do drive-through. He says that he is making more money with just drive-through than he is when the restaurant's open.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have to have all this extra staff to work the front counter. You know, they've got a couple of people over there working the windows, and a couple of people fixing the meals. You know, actually assembling the orders, and then the people in the back cooking. But he said he is making they're making a lot more money by just by not having the restaurant open. Hi, Mr. Sadie.
Our McDonald's, you can't eat inside of it. If you go inside, I had to go inside to order because I had that diesel truck, and they can't hear me through the drive-thru, and they make no attempt to hear me either. But anyway, so I had to go inside, and they have like this like roped off thing that you have to walk through this winding thing, like if there's a line to order your food inside, but you can't eat inside. But the Burger King in town, that one you can eat inside the dining room. Now I don't know if they changed it because now we're getting newer restrictions in place that just happened this week. Hey, Craig.
What's up? How are y'all?
Well, you're really sprouting beard there, Craig.
Their dining room's only open from 10 to 6, I think it is. Hey, Craig.
Yeah, I think like here the dining rooms, it was only open till 10. But now there's new restrictions for that kind of stuff that's going down tomorrow at 5. So I don't know how that will impact it. We don't hardly even go out to eat because I'm like, well, what's the point? Jim's mad about Golden Corral because there ain't no buffets here. So that's got him all ticked off.
When is Jim not mad?
Well, he is pissed about Golden Corral, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
we call that the trough.
Yeah, and the Chinese buffet too. The Chinese buffet can't serve like buffet, so they got this thing where you get like this walk deal. You get whatever. And Jim's like, well, the whole thing of going to Chinese buffet is the buffet, so I'm not even going to go in there. Yeah. So they're losing a lot of money because Jim's not going to them anymore.
Hey, Karen at the beach. I missed you, I think. And Julie.
And now, you know what Jim told me? They got this thing, like, let's say your face mask, you know, you see the face mask with a little vent on the front of it. And I think he said Disney's not going to let you use those kind of face masks anymore with the vent. Because people, and we did it because we have the ones with the vent. If you cut out the inside membrane when it's hot down here, then it's easier to breathe because you get more air in through the vent. But now there's like rumors that they want to make it where some places don't want to let you use that vented face mask. Anyway.
Wow. We went in I had to go with the eye doctor with my son, and we've just got the little T-shirt cotton material mask that we've just bought enough for the family. And the doctor's office was closed. You had to call in when you got there. They would come to the door, open the door. Hey, who are you? Do you have an appointment? If you don't have an appointment, sorry, you can't come in.
Yeah.
We had our mask on. They said, no, you've got to wear one of our masks. I was like, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, John. You know, all of a sudden, like at Lowe's, they've got these plexiglass shields up. So you've got the counter where you put your merchandise at. You know, it's got the belt on it, and then the person is standing behind the plexiglass on the same side of the machine as you are, doing the register part. And then after you check out, you have to walk around the plexiglass pick up your bags and go out. I'm thinking to myself, what the hell is the purpose of the plexiglass? Because you're still exposing the people.
And usually there's two of them back to back. I think Lowe's does them, doesn't they? They've got two registers where the people that are working the registers are back to back. They're right there close to each other.
Mr. Sadie, he has been says that his wife has been at Steak and Shake for 30 years. They started out as a car hop until the 70s, and now they're going back to it inside. Closed forever.
Sorry. What's up, Glenn?
It's you know what?
We had to go to the PVA office because we had to get tags on our box truck yet, and it ain't like, it's kind of like the courthouse, but not totally. You got the sheriff's department there, and you get your car tags there and pay your property taxes there, maybe some other stuff. They took our temperature going in through there, and then you got to walk through a maze of plexiglass to go and get anything done.
Yeah, okay. I understand the mask deal. I don't understand the mask deal when people have got knitted scarves around their face and you can see the skin.
Yeah.
Okay. They need to have some kind of guidelines on these things.
Or the people that are riding around in that car by themselves with gloves and a mask on.
Yeah. Well, how many times you walk around Walmart and they'll have the mask is down around their chin?
Yep.
And now they have it where Walmart came out, and now Walmart, even though they have the signs up, that you have to wear a mask, if you're not wearing a mask, they don't want to fight with you, so they're just going to let you go in and shop anyway.
Wow. I think when they first started doing it at Walmart, our Walmarts have gotten where you have to go in one side of the double door. You can't go in both. You got to have your mask on before you go in. Got to stay 6 feet apart from people. But yet they've got an employee sitting there counting people that everybody walks within half a foot of at the door.
Yeah.
That's like,
we have it in our county because it's order of judge. You can only have one member of the household in a Walmart. And that worked for maybe about a week and a half. And then everybody then they just ignore it and everybody just goes in. You'll have the whole family group going together. They don't stop you. I saw one time where they must have had their capacity of people in the Walmart that they were allowed to have, where they had a line standing outside once here.
Right.
It's just so damn hot down here.
Yeah.
I don't put my mask on until I get to the dadgum store.
Me too. I'm carrying it until I'm within 10 feet of the door.
And then I'll put it on. And I told the manager we have a Food Lion chain of grocery stores. I don't know whether they go as far as you, Craig, or as north as you.
No, we don't have it here. I don't think
we do.
That damn thing was so hot. And of course, they're all, wiping everything down and all this kind of stuff. And I told the store manager that I know from my days as a merchandiser. And I said, Tom, easy name to remember too. I said, you've got to turn the air conditioning down in this store.
Oh my God.
It is so hot in here, and people are wearing these masks, and they're sweating up a storm. So every time they pick up something, they're sweating.
Yeah.
They're sweating on the product they're picking up. I saw a lady over there filling all of these daggum tomatoes or tomatoes and, and putting them back. And I'm thinking to myself, is somebody going to come over and wipe every one of those tomatoes down?
Before the COVID stuff really happened, so it's been back in December or whatever. We were at Walmart, and it's usually during the day when we're there. It's the same cart collecting guy that does the carts. So Jim had to go to the bathroom. He comes out of the bathroom. He's like, hey, I'm going to tell you something. Don't touch your face when you're pushing this cart around, and make sure you wash your hands real good. Because old Mr. Poopy Hands went number 2 and didn't wash his hands after he went to the bathroom. So I'm like, that's freaky. So I always make sure I scrub the living crap out of my hands because I know he works there like all the time and he's the main cart guy. So even before the COVID, I was already pretty good about washing my hands.
I'm glad you're okay, Pamela. Yeah, I bet that was scary. But but the guy, the food line manager, he said, I can't turn them down here. It's controlled by corporate. I said, get them on the phone. I'll be glad to tell them to turn the damn thermostat down, or I'm going to go to Publix. But there was some old people standing behind me too, and behind me in line, and he's like, they were like, yes, sir. Listen to the man. It's hot in here.
Yeah.
And and the people walking around with these plastic gloves, all they're doing is if there's anything if there's anything on any of the product they've touched, they're just going to pass it, move it on to the next one.
Yep. I think there's only so much we can do,
Yeah.
If it's going to
It's
move around,
nearly
it's going to move around.
impossible to stop a virus like that. I mean, it's nearly impossible because it's just naturally going to want to, go through a population.
Is it as bad?
I guess they're trying to slow it down because they thought, they would be overrunning the ICUs and stuff like that.
But I hear that drinking hand sanitizer makes it go away, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna drink that. I'm gonna drink that water treatment that eBay pulled down. I'll just start, that and aquarium cleaner. I should be good.
Aquarium cleaner.
Craig, are you getting ready for Christmas?
I hate shaving.
Part-time job as Santa Claus. That beard's getting awful full there.
Man.
I hate shaving. So if I get to a certain point, the worst thing is I could shave it off and it'd be back in a month. This is not. I'm trying to think of the last time I shaved. It's been less than a month ago.
It's just getting real full there. Not being critical or nothing.
That's all right.
It's just a lot more fuller than I'm used to seeing you with.
I just hate shaving. I'm lazy. Not afraid to admit it either.
But why worry about it?
Yeah. I'm just gonna have a mask over my face anyway. It doesn't matter what it looks like.
Mr. Sadie says, "Can't we all just use common sense anymore?" Apparently, our government has to tell us everything we can do.
I honestly, because it's almost August, and I didn't think this would last as long as it has. And I'll be talking to Jim. I'm like, do you think it will ever go back to normal again? I don't know if it. Sometimes I wonder if it will ever go back to just being normal again.
I think everybody's gonna be paranoid for a period of time.
I mean,
even though they say it's gone or whatever,
Walking around my Walmart, I still see shortages on the shelf here. I mean, not bad as it was, but I mean, you know how a year ago when you go in Walmart, everything's just face and stocked and stuff like that. And now I can go in there and look for something and I won't find it because there ain't very much of it or it isn't stocked or whatever. And I'm like, I feel like I live in Eastern Europe right now. I wonder if it'll ever go back to just being normal again.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you felt like you lived in Kentucky.
No, because when I moved here, I could go buy anything I want. The TVs are sold out at our Walmart.
That's where all the stimulus money went.
Oh, yeah, but okay, well, yeah, they're getting their second round. You think they'd already had that spent up. All the laptop computers are gone in our Walmart.
Wow. I haven't been to the area, so I don't know what ours look like.
I was listening to the news yesterday, and Roberta's like, "Why are you listening to the news?" And for those that doesn't know, Roberta's my lovely bride. She's like, "Why are you listening to that? Why are you giving them views?" And I'm like, because I wanted to see what they were going to talk about. They're talking about all these, that there's major real estate companies that have all these condos and apartments and houses and whatnot. They're running out of money because people are not paying their mortgages or their rents and whatnot. You know
Well,
what?
you do have a problem
After-
with the rent freeze because if you're a landlord and you have your bank obligation, I mean, yeah, that would suck if you're not getting your rent in. Now I'll tell you here, because we're looking at houses right now, house market here is popping. I mean, really going.
You looking for another house?
Jim's mom
Oh,
has us doing houses. She had a full price offer. She wrote on one and she didn't get it. It went over the full price offer. So
wow.
we got one we're gonna go look at Wednesday morning. But I mean, this guy, he goes to auctions. He does some other reselling, not on eBay really. We got showing us the property. He's like, yeah. I mean, he goes real estate like at a certain price level. I mean, these houses ain't lasting 3 weeks here.
You know, we have the utility freeze down here. I don't know whether y'all have it up where y'all
And
are
I
at.
think you have it here. I paid my utilities. I mean, because like me. I mean, unless it got really bad, I don't want to have a big bill 5-6 months down the line. The same thing with eBay. We didn't defer any eBay payments. We just paid them. I don't want to have to worry about it. If I don't have money this 30 days, 60 days from now, it might be worse. So I'd rather just gut it and pay it.
Deferring it sounds great, but they're not going to just make it go away. It's just,
Well, it's like this. If I was like Duke Power, which is our major power supplier here, if I didn't get the money when this stimulus comes out, if I didn't get the money out of these people, just some money, I would be shutting people's power off, and I tell the governor to kiss my ass, because that's what the money's there for, is to help pay your rent and for your bills.
Not to go buy 87-inch TVs and 4K DVD players.
I went into Walmart the day after, or not the day after, but when the stimulus hit, people started getting their money. And I went into the one that I know, the loss prevention guy, the manager. And I said, man, you were selling a lot of TVs. He said, the checks hit everybody's bank accounts, or the checks came in. And I'm like, so they're not doing with it what they're supposed to be doing. They're out buying big ass TVs. He says, we don't have a TV bigger than a 27-inch in the store.
I didn't save my stimulus money for bills either. I went out and bought a snack trailer. That money got in my account, and it was 2 days later. It was gone the next day.
You've got money. You'll pay your bills.
But there's a difference in investing in something like that and buying a TV that could die in a year and a half.
Yeah.
And with this extra $600 a month, people are getting in.
That's true. I don't have that. I don't get unemployment, and I didn't get
$600 a week.
Yeah.
$600 a week.
$600 a week.
$600 a week.
I need to file unemployment. I need to become unemployed.
No, Tom's making fun of people that spent their stimulus checks right away. I said ours didn't last a day. We went and bought a trailer the next. Was it the same day or the next day?
The farther we go into it, the more money we're making.
Yeah.
Oh, we're having a lot better year than we did last year.
Granted, we're listening more. We're working it harder. This time.
I told Sergey, I said, I thought you got a good deal there, because they laid him off for about 2 months, and he got
I'll tell you something really good that happened, though. Sorry to interrupt. I'll just say this one thing. Our car insurance, because this month, our car insurance cost us, what was it, like $9? Because they put all of the COVID things all in the 1 month. So that was awesome.
Was
I had that
so our
last
car
month.
insurance was like $9.
Stupid.
Was that Progressive or Geico? Yeah. Anyway.
Dumb.
Anyway, go ahead, Tom. So that was a good thing.
But I told him, I said, you got screwed, dude. If they'd have laid you off, you could have drawn unemployment and got $600 a week more. You'd have been coming out, looking good.
Yeah.
But you know what? You don't have any bills.
I feel bad for the landlords. I mean, Jim used to do that. Right now with this whole rent freeze, I mean, what the hell are you supposed to do?
No, they're trying to do a mortgage freeze.
Now they're trying to do a mortgage freeze too, and putting it on the backside of mortgages and that. I mean, Jesus. Anyway,
So you could be like the U.S. government, hopelessly in debt.
Yeah.
Yeah, Maggie said, you notice they don't talk about deaths in the news anymore, just cases, because in most places, deaths are going away.
Yeah, and what happened when we just got flat in the curve?
Yeah.
Remember that? Oh, we just got
Hadn't
flat in the
heard that
curve.
in 2 months.
Nobody ever said, oh, no one will catch, we're going to wear 2% effective masks and nobody will catch it. I mean, nobody ever said anything that dumb in the beginning, but that's what they're saying now. I mean, they knew we were all going to get it.
We have a lawsuit here in North Carolina. This family is suing a doctor and a nursing home because they put on the death certificate that their mother died of COVID. She died of congestive heart failure.
But she had COVID at the time.
She tested positive for COVID, but she had no symptoms at all of COVID.
Yeah, well, that's just for money. There's something there,
Well,
like for getting funding out of the federal
That
government.
doctor's
They
getting
want to
ready to
have
lose that doctor's getting ready to lose his license.
Wow.
I know
Is
somebody down here that works at a nursing home, and they're paying more to the nursing home, can make more money if they take in COVID patients than they can if they have like an elderly person that's in a nursing home.
It's, people need to take this money they get on this next stimulus check and start throwing money at bills and stuff like that.
No,
Because-
Tom, come on. They need to go on eBay and buy more stuff.
That's what I was going to say.
Okay, well, guess what?
They need junk. No, we don't want
Then-
people sitting on money thinking there ain't no more money to come around. Otherwise, that's going to hurt me.
Well, I guess it will end up being a lot better because we'll be able to buy their crap when they start auctioning stuff off.
Yeah, it's a
But
cycle.
that's not funny. There's some people that are really struggling, some people that are not. It's like I used
But
to do.
honestly, it's a kick. It's a little, well, depending on how many kids you have, it's a kick like, but nobody in their right mind, like, what did we get? Like 2,900 or just about grand? I mean, $3,000. I don't want to be, $3,000 ain't nothing anymore. I mean, it don't take nothing to burn through $3,000 if you have a mortgage and bills and the cost of living and daycare or feeding your family or that. I mean, that's just like a little boost, but you're not gonna like make it for 6 months on this 3,000 you get.
Especially if you buy a TV.
Yeah, even if you don't buy it, if you like most people like with rent or mortgage or whatever, $3,000 just don't last very long.
The
When
thing
I was
about
a
it
kid-
is that it's going to haunt these people because sooner or later, these banks are going to start telling these congressmen and these senators, you ain't getting shit your next election if you don't do something about this. And then all of a sudden, they're going to have to start coming up with some money or they're going to lose their house. And that's when people like me that's been saving their damn money is going to start buying some rental house. You know what I mean? For cheap. That's what happened in
I'll tell you
2008.
here, the housing market here is very strong. I mean, and I live in the middle of Kentucky, rural Kentucky. And right now here where I'm at,
30%.
they've gone up 30% from a year ago. And if you have a house that's 100 to 150,000, they're lucky if they're this one that my mother-in-law wrote an offer on. It was on the market for 4 days. It has an accepted offer, and Jim's mother wrote a full price offer. She wrote a full asking price offer, cash, no lending.
The only thing she
cash.
wanted was a home inspection.
Yeah.
It's going to start catching up with people though, and that's what worries me. Because they think that this gravy train's going to ride forever, and it's not. Because Duke Power will cut your power off, and you'll never have power in North Carolina, South Carolina again.
Oh yeah, here where I'm at, well, I think they have the power, but my power bill is so cheap here. I mean, our power bill runs like $100 a month. Shoot, Wisconsin. I mean, I never had a power bill that cheap. Shh. What?
Kentucky's closed. There's no room in this state.
Everybody go to Kentucky. Alabama's history.
It is.
Go to Kentucky.
It is.
That's right,
Compared to
exactly.
when I lived in northern Wisconsin, it's a lot cheaper for me living here for just your living. For my living costs, it's a lot cheaper here. I should have did this years ago. I probably
yeah.
have some. I probably have money if I did this a long time ago.
And and then there's some. I'm not going to mention the YouTuber's name, but of course, our Nikki has to post in the group this link to this woman's YouTube channel where she tells you how to go out about getting your EBT, how to qualify for the EBT money and all this extra money and stuff like that. And I've yet to, just using her numbers, she's probably making 40,000 a month. I mean, a year off of her YouTube channel. Why is she getting EBT and all that other kind of stuff?
Well, I can tell you, I knew when I lived in Wisconsin, and I don't know if I think it's still like that. If you had minor children, it was extremely easy to get on SNAP benefits or EBT or whatever they call it. And I knew a family up there, and he laid carpet, and she cleaned houses mostly for cash, and they had 3 kids, and I think they were getting like $800 a month in EBT food money or whatever. And they drove very nice trucks. They had a big horse trailer. They had horses. I mean, they traveled around a lot. I mean, they had a lot of nice stuff. And yeah, they got like $800 a month in food benefits.
The money is going to run out.
Yep.
And all these little kids, not little kids, college age kids that are bitching about all this freebie shit, when they learn that they're the ones that's going to pay for it, not me, not Craig, because Craig's older than I am,
Whatever.
or Jim and Tara, Mr. Sadie, or Maggie.
Hey, I'm good. I'm going the other way. For me, I'm collecting. I'm only 7 years from getting the government check.
They're the ones that's going to be paying for this mess.
Yeah, Jim's only 7 years away from Social Security.
I'm drawing it early. I ain't waiting.
Get it while you
want to
can.
start drawing it at 62?
Yeah, you might.
I
Well,
want to get before the thing goes off the tracks. I agree. This country's going broke. I
had
got my money out.
My uncle figured it out because he was kind of forced to retire. He goes, "You might as well take it right away because you might not make it up on the backside and live
You won't.
long enough to
You got to live to
collect
be in your mid-90s. And if I live to be in my mid-90s, I'm not going to give a crap. If I run out of money, it's going to be whoever's surviving, I mean, years go by so fast when you're that old, you're only going to live for 15 minutes anyway. So I ain't afraid of the nursing home. By the time you get in the nursing home, life's going by so fast, you're only going to be there for an hour.
Yeah. Mr. Sadie says, wait until these payments stop next week. You ain't seen nothing yet, my friends.
No. Somebody said they read an article about EBT going to get anybody with COVID. I'll tell you this, in the state of Kentucky, because our son goes to school,
Yeah, we got
a $300 food card because I didn't apply for nothing. It just showed up in the mail with this $300 EBT card because there was no school lunch.
What do we get, $300?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like living like kings per day.
I know you might say, oh my God, Tar's rocking the welfare. But yeah, we didn't apply for it or anything. But because our school district gives free lunch to everybody, it doesn't matter your income level or whatever. Yeah, they're just sending out EBT cards to everybody in the school.
Yeah, we were buying brand name food. It wasn't all like great value.
I didn't have to use coupons or.
We bought actual Oscar Mayer hot dogs.
See, that's what people should be saving money. Kids Steal Meal more. Is that summer?
Summer is kids' deals and more.
Okay, that's what I thought. I'm old Summer, so I forget who people are. She says, both my sons got that Trump money every 2 weeks, and they saved every penny. One still can't find a job. That's what people are supposed to be doing. They should be saving as much as they can save. But that's good. That starts a cascade failure. If people are not spending any money,
Yeah, you got no money moving around the economy. Money's
right.
got to be a little bit like a river. You got to have people have confidence to spend.
Don't worry, Tom. We'll be spending it because we ain't got any choice. It's called bills.
Yeah, but still, you're not going out and buying big screen TVs or new computers.
Well, we bought a bunch of computers in Wisconsin, so we don't need that. I would like to get a big screen TV. I will say that. And so, I'm not going to do it right now, though. If I get this, are we for sure getting the second stimulus? I told Jim we should go buy a pool. Anyway, so I guess I'm not very, a pool, so we could swim in a pool.
Well, I want you to be sure and make a video of you floating around in that pool saying.
So I guess I'm not very responsible either. But if it goes my way, I'm going to put a new windshield on my black truck and buy myself a pool.
Say, make you a video saying thank you, Nancy, for the pool. I just don't think people have been. I don't think people have been looking at where all this money's going to. And I don't want down Walmart to get one freaking cent.
If I had my way, we wouldn't be doing the second stimulus, honestly.
No, we all ought to be planning on what taxes we're going to, like a national sales tax and get rid of tax refunds, so all the money just goes back into the government so we can start paying this debt down.
No.
Pamela, do you have a VAT tax up there?
In Canada?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they do.
Yeah, I think so.
Tax real estate, get the real estate tax up. I mean, we need to get raised some tax money and pay this stuff, pay these bills off.
Shut up, you with your federal real estate tax.
And if I think I remember hearing, I think it's pretty high. And I think it's how that it helps pay for the, their socialized health care or whatever it's called, Thought I heard somebody talking about that recently. 20 sales tax was 20-something%.
Wow.
Yes.
I don't know. I thought I remember hearing that.
Yeah, you want to see people start bitching? Start slapping a 20% value-added tax on everything other than food.
Yep.
Mr. Sadie, you got so much money. The governor of Missouri calls you and say, "Look, Sadie, I need to borrow $100 million so I can make sure everybody can buy their new big screen TV this month."
They have to watch my YouTube content somewhere. They might as well do it on a big screen.
That's right.
True that.
It's it's a big old mess, and people are just thinking.
Hey, things are hard in South Korea where they're making those TVs too, so those people need jobs.
They're probably pre-infecting them before they send them over here.
Maybe.
Have you seen where the number one selling, and the number one highest quality vehicle made in America is the Kia something or other? It's that new SUV they've got.
Yeah, I'm not driving a Kia.
That thing is like like kicking Mercedes' butt.
Whatever, I'm not driving a Kia.
I drive an
I would buy a Mercedes before a Kia. But...
I drive an IKEA.
IKEA.
Wasn't there a song that was like Kia? What's that?
No,
is that
Chia?
That's what reminds me of. Like Chia Pet song.
Pamela says HST is 13%.
Ooh. Now I want to buy a Dodge. I don't even like Dodge, but I want to buy a Dodge Challenger.
Oh, and I'm getting one too.
No, you're not. I'm just.
Sure,
we can't afford.
Well,
to.
you can get. I'll get my own, and I don't care what you do.
I think you don't say you can buy a new Dodge truck.
No, I'm not buying it. No, Dodge Challenger, the sports car.
I need a transmission that lasts more than a year.
Yeah, I work trucks too hard.
Well, I was one of the car guys I listened to was talking about that they have totally revamped their Dodge trucks, and there's
Whatever. My brother-in-law
We
owns
just-
one. My brother-in-law owns one brand new, and he's got it in the shop like every other month. Now, granted,
Transmission.
he's a super fussy.
And tell about Kurt
budget.
with his special.
Oh yeah, so we have this mechanic friend up in Wisconsin. He's very good, and he does a lot of transmissions. So we were having some stuff done on the black truck, and he has this lift in the back of the shop, and where he rebuilds transmissions, and we call it the Dodge rack because there's always a Dodge up on top of that rack.
All it's ever on is a Dodge. I mean, they got great
That gear in the
drive,
transmission where it's all like cracked. It's got like these stress cracks in it.
but they all chip it. They all
Oh,
get
yeah,
the, they
they
all get
chip
the
it.
performance thing where you can change the settings, the chip settings or whatever, and everybody it blows up the transmission. It's
No.
really not. That's not Chrysler's fault. But it's allowing these people to go in there and
But even
mess with it.
I don't know. I'm not buying a Dodge. No freaking way.
They change the settings to towing, and then they.
I
forget
will
it. They
buy
blow
the
it up.
Dodge car just because I like the way it looks. But I'm not buying a Dodge.
I'm getting mine. It's gonna be flat black.
We're not getting
I'm getting
two.
a blackout. I don't care what you do.
What are we gonna do? Chase each other around
No,
with
you
them?
can go do what you want.
Speaking of chasing, let me tell you this. Let me tell you something.
Oh.
I dropped off Sergey yesterday at work and was coming back to the house, and I'm just driving along in my little Saturn SUV, minding my own business, and I stop at a stoplight, and a black Trans Am,
Oh yeah.
gold bird on the front of it,
Oh.
G-roofs, a dude wearing a red shirt and a white cowboy hat
Oh yeah.
pulls up beside me, and I'm thinking, dude, the rednecks are out today. And then he just blasted off from the
That's my
line,
dream car.
and he's got New Jersey tags on.
That's my dream car. We watch Smokey and the
Did he
Bandit
have the
like every other
turquoise
week.
watch band?
Oh yeah. The Burt Reynolds turquoise watch band.
I didn't see that. I didn't notice that, but he looked like he was a Burt Reynolds wannabe. But when he drove up, I looked up in my rearview mirror to see if a big old truck was coming up behind him.
You should have had him blow the horn. You should have gave him the blow the horn sign, and I bet you would have been the first 12 notes of Dixie.
With New Jersey tags on the
Sure.
Trans Am. I don't know.
I will never.
Where do you think all that comes from? Southern Indiana.
I will never forget when that movie came out after we left the theater.
We own it. We
Everybody
watch
was
it
throwing
like
it
every
out
other
of the
week.
parking lot.
We were down here looking at property, and we had it with us. So Brandon would be playing it in the back of the car, and Jim would be driving on these windy roads with that, music from Smokey and the Bandit playing. It's like, this is getting stressful.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, eastbound and down. And I'm driving through road construction in this pouring rain, and I can't even see the damn lines on the road. And I got eastbound and down there watching on the computer and back just cranked. That's all I'm like, really what I want to be hearing while I'm driving through this mess.
I just, Mr. Sadie says he has a 2014 Chevy Silverado Crew Cab 4x4, and it's paid off. Good.
It's the best kind of car to have is one that's paid off.
Yeah,
That's
we
it.
don't know.
I got a 2000 Chrysler 300 with 106,000 miles on it.
That ain't nothing.
And I just, every time I start thinking about getting rid of that thing, I'm thinking it's paid off. Should I go ahead and spend $1,000 and have the AC fixed and drive it till she does it?
Oh my God, you don't have air conditioning in your car, and you live in North Carolina?
It quit working, and it's gonna be $1,000.
Not if you do it yourself.
You don't fix your own air conditioning? You need a vacuum pump and a set of gauges, and just go to the auto parts store or Walmart and buy one.
You might have to buy a condenser, but they're like $50, aren't they?
Oh no, accumulator.
Yeah.
If you're going to redo your air conditioning, definitely get a new accumulator. They're like $20, $30 on eBay. Come on, Tom. You got YouTube, watch the video.
I always wanted a 300 after I read about one, and I read a series of books by Clive Cussler, and he has a character who is sort of like James Bond. His name's Dirk Pitt. And there's one episode where this one of his books, there's a 300M chasing him, and after reading that, because he was really praising it, the speed, because you can drop it down where you can shift the gears and override the automatic transmission. I wanted one so bad, and then years and years later, I got one. You damn right, Mr. Sadie. That sucker, I can drive down the road, and those little tiny BMWs are sucked up against the side of it.
Are you talking about a Chrysler 300? Wait, are you talking about a Chrysler 300?
Yeah.
Oh, good grief.
You ought to get personalized plates. Let's say Thunder Road.
Yeah, there's a comedian's like, oh yeah, I got cut off by a Chrysler 300. Yeah, it's a good excuse.
Man, those are nice cars. Knock on wood, I haven't had any problems with except the air conditioner went out.
They make it 200 now too.
Is that a
that's a piece of crap.
Is that a cycle car?
It's a 4-wheel car.
Oh, is it a cycle car?
No, it's a 4-wheeler.
Is it a scooter with a cab on it?
Okay, now you're just being cruel. I'm not in on this, Tom. It's all her.
I know. You've got
she is so prejudiced about vehicles. You know what? If I can get in it and crank the damn ignition and drive it somewhere, I don't care if it's a scooter.
Seriously, Tom, though, you gotta get the V8 Challenger.
The what?
The Challenger. You're gonna drive a Chrysler car, get the Challenger.
No.
Why?
Because I want a Rolls Royce Colonnade or something like that. That's their SUV. And it's only $500,000, so it's only $300,000 more than the damn Dodge is.
That's a lot of eBay sales.
Yeah, and then when you drive, you better be rich. Well, you are rich because when you drive your $500,000 car 5 miles away from the lot, it's depreciated by a third.
You could pick up a really nice one for $6-7 grand.
Yeah, 6 to 8.
Okay, let's get a baseline here. That driving off the lot is only for people for every 2 or 3 years they're buying swapping cars. We drive our cars until they got high miles on them, and it's costing more to fix stuff on it than the car's worth.
Drive them till they die.
I don't care how much. If it's a car that I like and I buy it and I drive it off the lot and it drops $6,000 in value, I don't care because A, it's going to be beautiful, and B,
2007.
I'm just going to drive it till it falls apart.
I've never bought a car from a dealer ever.
I haven't bought one from a dealership since 2006.
Yeah. I've never bought a car from a dealer in my entire life.
When did we buy the? When did I buy the red?
The only thing I ever bought new was a scooter, and I bought that online. It came in a box.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I've never talked to a car salesman about a car ever.
Mr. Sadie says, "Hear me, I hope." I used to bowl with this guy, and we would have been about 25 years old at the time. He had a Volare station wagon.
Oh, those are cool.
With a 3-speed and a Hemi engine in it.
Yeah.
Wow. His grandmother bought it, and she drove it until she only had 1 point left on her license, and then his daddy took it away from her because that thing would go from 0 to a speeding ticket faster than you can blink your eyes. He bought a Camaro. It was that blue that all the Camaros that 1 year were.
Yeah.
And
Camaro.
Yeah. And he ordered one, had the T-roost and everything. He wanted me to go with him to get it. So I said, sure. I said, I'll drive us up there. He said, no, we'll go in the Volare, then you can drive the Camaro back. I'm like, it's a brand new car, and you're going to let me drive it? He said, yeah. So anyway, we get up there. They've got it ready. He says, go ahead, let's pop the T's out and all that kind of mess. So we're coming down Independence Boulevard, which at the time was like the main road in Charlotte. And I'm following him. And all of a sudden, this guy comes up in another blue Camaro, and he pulls up beside him, and he says, he sees Jim sitting over there in that daggum grandma of that wagon, because it's got the fake spoke hubcaps on it. You know, it just looks like something grandma would be driving. And he revved up his motor and kind of like nodded at Jim, let's drive. And the guy had 3 girls in the car with him. And the light changed to green, and that other Camaro disappeared, because when Jim dropped the clutch on that thing and spun the back tires, it just filled that street full of daggum smoke.
No.
And he was at the stoplight before the guy could even get his foot on the gas pedal. And those girls were giving the boy hell driving it. But Jim loved that thing because it looked like, well, he actually ended up selling it to the South Carolina Highway Department because they used it for what do they call them, trap cars, bait cars. And but that sucker would fly.
My roommate in college had a 1978 silver Volare wagon, spoke wheels, and it had a 318 in it. And I mean, that thing was just a screamer.
Let me tell you what, back in my single days, I had a tangerine orange Dodge Aspen with the white Landau top.
Oh boy.
And spoke hubcap mags on it. He just pictured it looked like somebody I'd be driving up to stopping to a bunch of girls on the side of the road going, where's my money? It looked like a pimp mobile.
Oh boy.
But it had a Dodge 302 in it or something like that. And that sucker would fly. I mean, it would fly. But it was a pimp mobile. One point. Yeah, Mr. Sadie, she got down to 1 point. We subtract points down here. I think some places you add points. Like you start off with 0 and go up.
Still that Miller table light, that pool table light.
Oh, cool.
But it's there's a YouTube channel, and this guy, he bought a car from China. It was like $3,600, an electric one, and he's from up in Raleigh. And he bought that thing, and he said, he's a real car guy. He's got hot rods and whatnot. He's like, this is a good vehicle, a really well-made vehicle, if it could just do more than 30 miles an hour so he could drive it. But
there was one in the mid 80s. Was it not Chevy Sprint, Chevy little 3-speed? Oh no, I think it was even a 3-cylinder. It was a tiny engine.
Well,
Did
the
Chevy Sprint
Sunbird have a Chevy? Was that a Cobalt?
No, this was like 85, 86, 87.
That was after the Vegas.
A boy I went to high school with had
They had the Nova 2.
Spitfire.
Yeah, I remember the Nova too, which was a smaller.
Yeah, because I had a 76 regular Nova, and when they came out with that, they reintroduced. I'm like, oh, the Nova's coming back. And they came out with that Nova 2. I'm like, oh, I was like, oh, what a piece of crap.
Yeah, I think it was the Sprint. It would just look like a little bitty tiny. It was 1988, maybe one in 84.
Jim, I'm not the least surprised that you had a Chevy Nova.
Yeah.
Lime green.
Lime Frost.
Lime Frost.
We called it Kermit.
My best
I used to hate it. I hated the color, but today I'd love to have that car back.
My best friend.
When I got rid of it, I traded it to a guy for a 1947 Fraser, which I still have the Fraser.
What is that? A car?
Yeah, it's like a Kaiser. Remember the Kaisers and the Frasers?
Oh, Kaiser. I think
but it's not Kaiser though. It's the Fraser. Because remember, Kaiser and Fraser were partners, and they made the Fraser for like 5 or 6 years, and then they dropped it. That was just Kaiser.
Okay.
But it looks just like it's got a different hood emblem. It's the same damn car. And it's that one they made, and it's a 1947 But I think they made the same car through like 1952. All they changed on it was the grill, and that's why they lost market share because it was like a checker cab. You know, they really never changed the body style.
Right.
The Sprint says it has a tiny 1.1 liter 3-cylinder engine, 0 to 60 in 15 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah, Mr. Sadie, you got 3 of those stupid lawn tractors. Like that Toro
Oh, the
Whirlwind.
Toro Whirlwind?
Yeah, Mr. Sadie's like, if you ever got it running, I would ride that. He's got 3
I
of
only
them.
got one sulky. I only got one.
One sulky and 3 of the.
Yeah, so I got to trade it between them. When they're running, I got to use the same. I got to rotate the sulky.
What is he talking about? I would drive that old hit and miss lawnmower.
It looks like it was in one of our videos a
Briggs.
long
It's not
time
really,
ago.
It's a 4-stroke Briggs.
It's a Toro Whirlwind. It looks like a big ginormous push mower, and then you sit on this stupid little sulky that the push mower pulls you around on.
But it's got this 8-horsepower Briggs and Stratton on it. It's the kind you got to wrap. It's got the notches like an old-time boat motor where you got to put the rope, the pull cord's got a knot in it, and then you got to wrap it around the side of the motor and then pull it. But the problem is, when you pull it, sometimes that 8 horsepower will kick back, especially if it's hot, and it'll pull your damn fist right back into that thing with the notches in it. And man, you really cut up your knuckles good. Yeah, you don't want if you shut it off and had to restart it when it was hot, you're almost for sure going to get your hand bashed.
Dang. A boy I went to high school with, he had a Triumph Spitfire with a 2-cylinder diesel engine in it that his dad put in it.
Wow.
It got hellacious gas in it. It got hellacious fuel mileage, but you heard him coming down the road, and it wasn't because it was rumbling and sounding cool. But and then his brother had a 69 Mustang that he had built out, and it got like 25 gallons to the mile.
Yeah.
I mean, it would suck the fuel. He'd always have to make sure he had a full tank of gas before he headed home.
My uncle had a diesel wood fishing boat. It was like the Orca from Jaws, but it was made out of wood. You know, and like that boat, it was made out of wood. It had 2 diesels in it. And my dad goes, "What's the miles per gallon?" He's laughing. He goes, "Miles per gallon?" He goes, "No, it's gallons per mile."
Yeah.
That thing just ate fuel. And when it got, because the worms would eat into it, he'd use golf pencils. He'd pound golf pencils into the holes in the boat.
Was it in freshwater or saltwater?
No, it was saltwater. It was in Melbourne Beach.
Oh.
Anyway.
You know, it's some of the vehicles, like you were talking about the Nova. My best friend that was a girl.
Oh,
Her
I was gonna
boyfriend
say,
had
geez,
a
your
yellow
best girlfriend?
Nova.
Player.
Yeah, Tom, when you said my best girlfriend, I didn't know you were rating them. Oh, the best girlfriend I ever had.
But he was driving
My
the
best friend that was a girl.
She was his best producer.
I don't know
He was-
what y'all have up there in Yahoo land, but I had a best friend that was a boy and a best friend that was a girl. And my best friend that was a girl, her boyfriend had a 73 Nova. It was yellow with the black vinyl top. That sucker would fly.
Yeah. Well, that's before like my 76 had the catalytic converter and all that. It's when they're starting to experiment with that emissions crap. And yeah, that just bogged it right down. Yeah, those 73s, man, they were hot. You touched the gas and the thing was gone.
Everything from 73 is nice.
Yeah, 73 and earlier, yeah.
Yeah, no, 73.
I don't know. 73 Mustang wasn't real pretty.
Yeah, I suppose it was like their top of their game.
I'm from 73.
Oh, you're
asshole.
73. Oh.
That's when they got to the Mustang 2s.
Yeah, wasn't it? Like 71, 72?
Yeah, because I had a 75 Mustang 2 Mach 1 with a 302 V8 and positive traction, 3-speed.
I mean, they were nice cars. I just think the pre-70 and was much beefier.
It was not a muscle car.
Yeah.
It was a muscle car wannabe. Mine was built out. My uncle had a shop. He was a mechanic. And I went down there one weekend. We went down because my dad had a farm, and my uncle's farm laid up next door to his. We went down there, and I told him, I said, the brakes just don't seem like want to work good on this thing. So before the weekend, I had 4-wheel disc
Why
brakes
do I
on that,
chew it up on
I
you?
hate it.
Oh, jerk.
and that sucker would stop on a dime then. But it was not like the muscle cars. But I was reading an article, and it was talking about if they could get rid of half of this electronic crap off of cars now, and the catalytic converters, because the gas is so pure now.
Oh, yeah.
It would pass emissions without all that crap on it.
We don't even have emissions here, so I don't even think about it.
Oh, we do. That's an extra
I refuse to
$35.
live in a place where you have to take your car in to check emissions.
Yeah, I wonder how my.
I
diesel
did
truck
when
would
I
do
was
it.
when I was a kid. We lived in Milwaukee area, so we had emissions, but we didn't have it in
Or an
northern
HOA.
Wisconsin, and we don't have it here.
No emissions and no HOAs.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, Mr. Sadie, everything has turbos. And our traffic gets around here that if you could do 10 miles an hour, that's all you need. Because our traffic gets so backed up around here.
I got a friend that's going to work at the Charlotte TV station.
Oh, really?
Yeah, is there like a city that's a little bit like north of Charlotte? It's called Boston, maybe, or is it? It's like an east.
Salem?
Yeah, it might be. I don't know if it's
That's in
Salem.
Salem. That sounds Boston-y.
No, it isn't that. It's something else. But anyway, he's gonna work at the Charlotte TV station. He used to work at Jacksonville for where the Gulf Network was, and that. Now he's going. They're building a new house in North Carolina there somewhere,
Well, nice.
close to Charlotte.
Hi, hello, them flipping crooters. Is that pronounced right?
What's up, Rebecca?
Okay, hey, Rebecca. How much was it, Mr. Sadie? The 2,500 Denali with 81,000 miles. I'm assuming that's what you choked on. There are so many trucks down here that are never used for anything other than going and getting a 25-pound bag of cat food and going and getting, bales of pine straw to put around their trees.
Yeah, that's what they do with those F-150s. Pick up their cat food with them.
That's all right.
I could pick up my Meow Mix and a pint
You're
of
gonna
ice
make me
cream
go out
and
and
take
buy
the F-150.
Just
Don't make Tom mad.
You're gonna make me go out and buy a F-250 King Ranch 4-wheel drive 4-door just to.
So he buy a
Like a
salt.
nice Chevy or GMC.
I don't want a Chevy or GMC. Their transmissions suck.
No, they don't.
If you get that, you can buy
No, you're
yourself.
confusing them with Dodge. No, Chevy transmission's good.
Tom, I'm going to tell you this.
I'm gonna say Chevy automobiles they're smaller SUVs. Most of them, their transmissions go out at 40,000 miles.
Well, let's talk about your 150 problem. See, now it's like a small dog. Any dog that weighs 30 pounds or less is actually a cat. Okay, so any truck that's under 3/4 ton is actually a car. So just use that rule when you're shopping next time.
See, if it wasn't for the fact that my brother's got a yard full of those things, F-150s, and they've got 250,000 miles on them, and they're still perfectly good, I would maybe let you get by with your.
Hey,
We don't buy our trucks till like got 200 on them.
yeah, I mean,
They're good and broken.
Right.
in by then, right?
We got one 350. We got one 3/4 ton left, but all the rest of ours are 1 ton or
yeah,
bigger.
and mine are all running when I got rid of them. And I worked them. I mean, they pulled.
Well, no, the 1 3/4 ton went to Kurt. That one wasn't running.
Yeah, because you fricked it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was your fault, but it was running.
You've
That
got
was
2 F-150s in your yard.
No,
That don't
I have
run?
no F-150.
No, we got one. We got one.
No.
One Chevy 2500.
I got a 3/4 ton
They're
Chevy in
flipping critters.
Wisconsin yet.
We got the 1-ton Chevy dually that's got at least 300,000 miles on it. We don't really know how many miles it got on it. And then I got the box truck's only got about 210
That's
on
a
it.
Ford, yeah.
Yeah, that's a F350 or E350 cutaway van.
My youngest brother's father-in-law was always a Chevy man until he bought 4 in a row, and the damn paint kept coming off the hood. And after that, he switched over to Ford.
I never thought that the Ford. I never thought they made as good of a truck as the GMC or the Chevy. Now, the only thing I'll say is I bought that 2004. I think I bought it in 6. So it was 2 years old. I think it's a 4. That year they like cheapened it up, like because like I remember my son walked over the passenger side door and like to open the door handle and it broke off in his hand and stuff, and I never thought it rode as good as some of the other Chevys I had, but it pulled good.
I think if you take care of them and they do what you want to do with them, that's all that matters. But like I said, most of the trucks that's running around Charlotte, they're not, they're glorified mama vehicles.
It's a bunch of soccer moms.
Yeah. Because they never go off. There's a boy down the street that's got one. He's actually got an F-250. He has never had it off the road. He has never pulled anything with it. He goes and gets his bales of pine straw and his dog food. And
but with the 250, he can get like it by the pallet now.
Oh yeah, the pine straw.
Yeah.
I buy what that looks good to me, and if they have a pretty good record of working like they're supposed to, I'm good with it, and I don't have to buy new.
Shit, I don't buy new anymore. Like I said, I haven't had a car payment since that 3/4 ton I paid off. So that's, what did I buy that in 6, 7, 8, 9? So I haven't had a car payment since like 10 or 11.
I didn't say anything about having a car payment. I said buying new.
Oh, okay. Smarty pants. I don't got as much money as you, Tom. I can't just go out and be buying new cars cash off the lot.
But their vehicles have over 100,000 miles on them because we're too cheap to go buy new ones.
And I don't have anything with under 100. I think the Expedition has 160 on it now.
Wow.
Ours right
The
now?
Expedition, I think it's 165.
No, it's like 170 or 180.
Oh, it is that
Yeah.
high now? I didn't think it
You know
was.
that wattling scale?
She said her phone
It's a
service is
door to
off.
get the coins out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you turn the key on the side, the whole front end opens up.
Hi, Joanna. Do you live? I can never remember where she lives. I know it's cold.
She's in Illinois.
Illinois. Okay. I don't know why I want to push her out towards Idaho.
No, I think she's like in central Illinois.
I haven't looked at it yet, but I'll take a look at it. Yeah, you told me that your wife has a Chevy Traverse. Are they the ones that you have to take the whole front end off of it to change the light bulb? It's do they have cornfields in Illinois?
Turn those lights off.
Yeah, central Illinois is all farms.
Oh,
Most
is it?
Illinois is all farms. Yeah, it's like flat, like farm fields.
I got to run, Tom. I'll let you later.
All right.
Yeah, Craig.
Good to see you.
Thanks, Craig. Yeah, the service guy at the Chevrolet dealership, because we looked at one, he's like, now he was saying you can't just change the light bulb like you can on most of them. You have to take them apart. But on that Chrysler, you basically have to put it up on a lift to change the damn battery in it because it's like up under the fender well somewhere. Oh, it's okay. It's under the back passenger seat. But those were supposed to be nice cars. The Traverse. Now Tara would never have a need for one of those.
I'll drive a Chevy car, but
Well, that's the minivan.
oh, is it?
Well, it's like a minivan.
Yeah, no. Jim likes those big full-size conversion vans.
Yeah, I bet he did. Did he have one when y'all were dating?
No, he drove around he was driving like a 1980 Jeep CJ.
That's right. He
Might
was,
have even been from the 70s. I think it might have. I don't know if it was a 5 or a 7. It was one or the other.
the guy across the street from us has got that big Ford SUV that they don't
The
make.
Excursion.
Yeah, it's got the diesel engine in it.
Yeah, you get it with a 7.3. Actually, I like the Excursion.
His mother and father-in-law live in Wyoming or someplace like that, and he says he gets out there on those interstates out there in the middle of nowhere and run that sucker up to about 90, and he says that thing just sits there and purrs.
Jim's got that same engine, that 7.3 in that box truck, and actually it is a pretty good engine. Well, it's an international engine, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
Mr. Sadie, them 6 granddaughters are going to put you in a grave, son, when they start dating. Yeah, Suburbans are nice. They're just overpriced because they're real fashion sense. They're like Prada around here.
Yeah, it's a truck, but for me, if I'm gonna have a truck, I'd rather just have a bed on it. I don't really need.
Well, with everybody thinking it's cool to have a truck and these big SUVs and whatnot, it really hurts the people because it drove the price up because of the demand. For people that really need it, like they've got big families, or like you that pulls horse trailers, and those other trailers you have. But I remember when the prices started going up and up and up and up and up on those things because they were cool. I'm just old and I don't like change. I know all the sounds that our vehicles make. And if it makes a new sound, then I'm like, oh, we got to take it and have it checked out.
Yeah, Jim's our mechanic. He does 99% of all our mechanic stuff.
I'm assuming that unit you're talking about, Mr. Sadie, is a refrigeration unit.
Yeah, I think so, because they do produce.
$10,000 for a used one. I mean, it's a tool. That's what you got to have. You got to pay the money. My brother's that's got the land surveying company. He just bought an $80,000 piece of equipment that he needs. He didn't like spending the money, but he needed it. And he's got 2 projects that'll pay for it. Your granddaughters are little, aren't they, Mr. Sadie? Well, Pamela says those are so much money. You know, people that have all these, like my brother and his wife, they have a couple of 250s. Actually, I think Angie's is a 350. Because they pull horse trailers around all the time. And it's because of their hobby. Mr. Did you bring all your motorcycles down with you, or there's still some up in the units?
There's still a couple up. There's still a couple up north.
I was Jim. I was thinking about you the other night. I was watching one of my favorite movies, and that's Tornado.
Twister.
Twister. Thank you. And you know, they had that black GMC motorhome in that thing, and when I saw it, I thought of you.
Yeah.
And another thing about that, when that movie first came out, I wanted a red Dodge pickup truck like his.
Oh yeah, that's when that new front end was first coming out on those Dodges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? The reason I wanted it, because it looked like a man's truck. It didn't look like those girl trucks that Ford and Chevrolet was putting out.
I liked it at first too, and then I knew people that bought it, and they were having trouble with the transmissions, pulling horse trailers and stuff, and I said, "No way, Kimosabi."
You got. Oh Lord! I thought all your granddaughters were little. He's got 2 7-year-olds, 2 12-year-olds, a 14 and 18.
Oh wow!
You just take the wheel, Tom, and hide my shotgun. I do like that movie. I really do. I cannot understand people living out there. I know
Don't you get tornadoes in North Carolina? Don't you get tornadoes in North Carolina?
Not enough to really worry about. Where we're at, we really don't have to worry about hurricanes, and we really don't have to worry about tornadoes. Every once in a while, one will pop up. But we don't.
Jim saw one when he lived in southern Wisconsin. He opened the door, he saw the tornado, and he shut the door.
Well, Mr. Sadie, that 18-year-old is over the hill, so you pretty much out on that one. But the 2 12-year-olds, I'm sure that their household's getting phone calls from squeaky voice boys saying, "Is Susie home?" It's like Jim and Tara. It's not going to be much longer if it's not already started, where girls are going to start calling wanting to talk to Brandon.
No, it hasn't started yet. Brandon does hang out with his little Amish girls, but or
He's in middle
Amish.
school, isn't he?
Well, he'll be in 6th grade this year, I think.
Okay. Okay, I was thinking he's older.
He's a year behind. He started school kind of late.
Okay. Well, that was like me. My birthday's in December, so in South Carolina, if you're not 6 or 7 by like October 1, you have to wait over a year. So I was like one of the oldest people who graduated from when I graduated from high school.
Yeah, he'll turn 18 his senior year when he's in high school, but he had that speech delay when he was younger, so he just wasn't ready yet.
Right. My boys are, I have a 23-year-old and twin 22-year-olds, Joanna. And one of the twins has moved in with his girlfriend.
Oh no, you lost one of your boys to their girlfriend?
Yep.
Oh boy.
We're living with it. Their lease runs out in November.
Does he have a car? Has he? Do you still
Oh
have to give
yeah,
him
he's
a
got a
ride?
Toyota. He bought a Toyota Corolla.
Oh boy.
It's a
Well, you
nice
know what
car.
happens?
That's good.
You know what happens next? They make the little anchor baby, and
Oh wow, we've had a long talk about that.
somebody
I
starts
don't
singing
think-
this. You know the song, "Anchor Baby, Anchor Baby." I'm gonna
I
get
don't
me an
think-
anchor baby.
I don't think she demands too much of his time.
Keep
And
talking about how you can go to car lots and buy cars for cash, and you're gonna get that anchor baby.
Yeah. I asked him, I said, you know, that's what happens when you get married, is that they demand your time. Well, we're not married. You're living together. You might as well be married.
Yeah, I think Jim was 22 and he moved in with his girlfriend, and then they had an anchor baby, and then he married her.
I'm gonna tell you what,
You're gonna get an anchor baby.
Jim.
Hey, Tom's gonna get an anchor baby. His 22-year-old son moved in with his girlfriend. And I said, yeah, I think Jim was 22, moved in with his
Do they have a pet
girlfriend.
together?
Do they have a pet together? Do they have a cat or anything?
No, they don't have any pets.
Oh,
That's usually they'll get the pet first.
you didn't get a pet first.
Well, unless they don't allow pets in their apartment.
Well, they could, but no, I've said no pets. Because he's real.
Should give him one of those stray cats you're taking care of.
Yeah.
He's like they're on different shifts. He works from 3:30 to 12, and she works 12-hour days during the day. And she also has to be on call. So their schedule is all screwed up. So I told him, he talks about, well, you know, I just want to come in and sit down and play.
No, Mr. Sadie, I've been calling him anchor baby since I was like 20 years old.
Mr. Sadie's going to go find them 6 girls and just whoop everybody's ass and says, we better not have no anchor babies.
Yeah, it's called "This Dude Ain't Moving Fast Enough." I'm gonna be an anchor baby.
Yeah.
Where sales off for another chick.
Yeah.
I think he'll come home in November. And he's pretty. He watches, you know, he watches his money and he watches what's going on. And
Yeah, well, it doesn't take money to make an anchor baby, Tom.
I know, but the point is that he's.
That's the cheap part of the anchor baby part is making it.
It's not like it's not like
after you make it.
It's not like in the middle while you're hot and heavy. You're thinking, "Oh, did I balance my checkbook today?" And then all of a sudden, at the key moment, you go, "Oh, child support."
Well, he says that he's not want one. I said, well, you know, it takes 2 to tango.
Yeah.
Yeah, as
I want one.
my mom told her brother I was pregnant, my uncle. We were pretty tight in our family. He goes, well, you play with fire, you're going to get burned.
You should have known by the fact that Jim can just look at a girl and she gets pregnant that you didn't
We
want
were
to be.
seeing each other. Before I got pregnant, we were seeing each other for like 2 years.
Oh,
I
okay.
decided I wanted an anchor baby, so I made some stuff happen. Jim wasn't
You wanted
committing
Jim's
quick
money.
enough, so I said,
Jim,
well,
you
I'm going to have
wanted
an
your
anchor
money.
baby.
You told me it was because we were in between your birth control thing.
I'm not talking about this on live YouTube.
Oh.
You need to tell your boys you need one more, Miss Sadie. They need to try again for your boy. Or you and Mrs. Sadie could have another one and try for. Now, see, Roberta's. He says that his name won't live on to the next generation because he doesn't have any boys.
I wanted a girl.
He I just totally forgot what I was going to say. Give me a second. Give me a second. I don't remember.
Okay, Mr. Sadie said it was all those damn big back seats back in the day, Jim. So me and Jim, I got done drinking at the bar. We're
I'm
drunk.
still here.
We're sitting in his Suburban. I'm talking to him in the yard, and this person comes and knocks on the door. This is in my yard. I'm like, Jesus. Anyway, what the hell? It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I can't even sit in my yard talking to somebody in a car, and I got somebody knocking on my freaking window. It must be one of these stupid neighbors. So I roll the window down. I'm like, who the hell are you? It's Jim's mother, who I don't know. And she like looks at him. She goes, I'm his mother. And because his daughter had called the grandma to come pick her up because it was late at night or whatever. So she came over to see what we were up to. We weren't doing anything. But anyway, I'm like, oh my God, I feel like I'm in high school.
Yes, and my daughter was in high school, so she was perfectly able
Yeah.
to go along. She
Yes,
didn't like
his daughter was like 15.
She was mad I had a girlfriend.
She was.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how it is.
Well, I think she thought me and her mom were going to get back together, and I was pretty sure that was not going to happen. By the way, her mom said that's not going to happen.
By the way, her mother said it was going to happen. By the way, her mother said, I never loved you as a man.
Yeah.
You pretty much know it's over then.
Joanna, you should have hyphenated your name. You're a modern day woman. You can do stuff like that. Your children could have had both your husband's and your name. She said she'd like to have passed on her maiden name. A friend of mine's wife is she's got her PhD in biology. So, and she already had her master's before they got married. So when she got married, she didn't change her name. Boy, did that not go well.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're in the South, and you're supposed to take your husband's name, which when they had children, their children have the father's name.
Shit. When I got married, it took me like, did I ever get a Wisconsin name in our married, a Wisconsin driver's license in our married name? Yeah, I think I did, but it took me like a few years. I just didn't get around to it.
Have you even got your Kentucky driver's license yet? You've been down there almost a year.
Oh yeah, you got it. I had to put my kid in school. I needed a state ID.
Oh, that's right.
If I didn't have a kid in school, I might have drug my feet more, but I did have to there.
Well, you know, that's just the way things work out. Joanna. She says, my husband's still mad I own the house.
Yeah, but when you get married, you know, then it's marital property, so.
There's this guy. He was the friend of a friend's. His wife thought when she married him, she thought she was set for life. Well, he had a heart attack and died. And the house that they were living in was not his. It was his parents.
Oh, it was in the parents' name? Oh, that sucks.
Because it was they had bought the house, and I mean, you know, it was like a rental, and they renovated it really nice for their son and daughter-in-law and whatnot.
Yeah.
So they didn't have any kids. Oh, it got real nasty because they're like, you know, if you get married, you got to get out. And again, so when the father and mother both passed away, she had not remarried again. She thought she was going to get her late husband's part of the estate. The will said that in the event that any of their children passes before them and they don't have any children, then it's divided equally amongst the remaining children.
Mm.
So she didn't get
Oh,
squat.
yeah, because that boy's already dead. They rewrote their will.
Yeah. No, it
It
was
wouldn't matter if he didn't have children.
do I?
I don't think it would. I don't think it would matter if he didn't have children because he wouldn't have an heir.
Yeah, well, that was just it. They didn't
Yeah.
have any children, so it was, it didn't go to her.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what Tara was doing. She was thinking she was marrying into all your money.
Whatever. I was regular, but I mean, I had like enough real estate and stuff from my side of the family that, I mean, I didn't need no more of that.
Joanna, you going to send Mr. Sadie a bunch of bunnies for the girls? Y'all need you need some bunnies.
Bunnies are fun.
He says 3 of his granddaughters live on a farm, with a petting zoo, so I have no doubt they can handle the boys. My niece that has all the horses, she's got a couple of miniature horses now. And I posted this thing about the miniature donkeys.
Yeah.
She wants a couple of miniature donkeys, and her husband's like, nope.
They're very cute, the little donkeys are.
They're all cute, but they've been bred that way, so they all end up having some kind of health problems.
Oh, those donkeys are pretty cute. I like the miniature cows too. They're cute.
Joanna, do you raise bunnies? I don't want to know what you do with them, but just do you raise them? See, I have a problem with stuff like that because if you raise them and you're in their house and you're feeding them, I don't. Then they become pets. That's the reason I couldn't ever live on a farm.
I used to show rabbits when I was a kid.
Well, that's good, Mr. Sadie. Then the boys come along, because I told Jim and Tara about a friend of mine that had a daughter that rode horses. She showed horses. They had the $100,000 truck and trailer and the expensive horses and all that other crap, and just And then one day she came home and she's about 16. She says, "I don't think I want to ride anymore." And he's like, "You're gonna get your ass on that horse, and you're gonna ride that sucker." And she continued to ride them. Okay, good. I'm glad that you don't eat them. But does Brendan ride?
A little bit. Not much since we moved down here, just because we've been doing a lot of other stuff.
Well, y'all been moving and trying to get fences put up and all that
Yeah,
kind
we
of
don't have like a good riding area set up yet and stuff. It's just been kind of hectic.
He don't have to learn to ride because them girls probably ride.
Huh?
So you don't have to learn how to ride real good because them girls probably ride. Being that you're in the
Yeah.
horse territory. Or that those Amish people,
Well, they're former Amish, so
are they?
they drive trucks and stuff. No, I think they mostly like to hang out with Brandon and play with him. And then, like, Jim tries to load up our stuff during the auction because because I give them a tip when they help load up our car. So now they're like Johnny on the spot to help us load up our stuff, because I
Right.
give them money anyway. So
It's
and they also try to scab stuff off of us sometimes. Like when I bought all those totes, there was like those Funko Pop, like Harry Potter, that Dobby guy. And they're like, oh, it's Dobby. Do you know who Dobby is? We love Dobby. I'm thinking, yeah, you're going to get your monetary tip, but you're not going to get that because I'm selling it. Anyway. They're cute kids. I mean, anyway. Brandon
well,
played with the whole auction.
it gives him somebody to talk to and hang out with when he's at.
Yeah, no, they're cute. They're nice kids.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
He's not at home by himself while you're off buying stuff to support him with.
No, he likes going to that auction. Sometimes he doesn't always want to. Well, he'll always go to that auction. Some other auctions, he'll be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to stay home. But that one he'll usually go to. But now they're not having it because we got a mask mandate here.
I have a feeling it's getting ready to tighten back up around here.
It's definitely tightening up here.
Disney World won't let you have the mask without the vent. With the vent.
Yeah, Disney World won't let you come in with the mask with the vent on it.
Well, they're the best ones.
Yeah, because you can cut the material out of the vent so you get more air.
No, they're the best ones for the protection because we have the ones with the vent on them. And Roberta pays some good money for those damn things.
Yeah, well, when you breathe out, it doesn't filter anything. Your out air is pure germ air. Which
those things really, really are doing that much purification.
Well, if you take the rubber diaphragm out with a pair of tweezers, now it's free air, and man, you can breathe.
Yeah, your glasses aren't getting fogged up.
We would not do that kind of thing.
We do. We did it. Jim did it. We wore the mask at first. They're like, oh, these masks are hot, and they're making my glasses fog up. Jim got dissecting them and took the diaphragm out of them, so it's free air.
Yeah, we're walking around. We got the masks. It's all good. We can go anywhere we want. We're breathing free and easy. Except for Disney World, because now they're onto us.
They are they fully opened at Disney World?
Well, I don't know if you can buy tickets at the gate. I thought you had to already have your tickets. I'm not sure if that. I think it's still the same. And I think they're not full capacity. And I don't know if all the parks are open. Is Animal Kingdom open or is that still closed?
No, I think they're open.
They are? I don't know if they have the same operating hours or not.
I think they've given up opening Carowinds up here.
Yeah, Universal's open too. I know that.
Yeah, Universal was open before Disney was open.
I don't know. I don't even want to go to Disney right now. It just sounds too kooky. And like we watched a video on Universal because we're like, well, maybe we should try Universal. We haven't been there in years, and Brandon's never been to Universal. But like in August, I mean, I don't want to be walking around in Florida with a mask on in August. That kind of sounds like that might suck. Anyway.
Oh, California has totally banned the bell masks.
Oh, really?
Yep. Oh, civil cloth masks are better. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm going to just go knit me a damn scarf and throw it around my face, and I'll be able to breathe just fine. Because I see them all over Charlotte where they've got scarves around their face.
Yeah.
It's like I said, I think they've given up on Carowinds, which is a major income source that they've
Well,
blown
I'm trying
out.
to think, like in Kentucky. I mean, I think the Arc is open. That Arc Experience. I'm pretty sure they're open now.
Well,
They got
God's
that
protecting that.
Yeah, they got that Kings Island. That's a up by Cincinnati. That's across
Yeah.
the state line. I think that's open. I don't know if like the Mammoth Cave is open. That's federal. I guess I haven't even looked into it.
I just trying to get through this year,
Yeah.
trying to get through November.
Yeah, well once November hits, then it'll be all done. Nobody's gonna think about it then. It's so politicized, it's like what side you're on. Honestly, my theory is because like here, you had so many people that just weren't wearing the mask. Well, you can almost pretty much predict what political leaning the person is that's walking around everywhere with no masks on. I think the other side didn't like to see it, so they put masks on everybody so you couldn't tell how many Trump voters were walking around then. Anyway, is my opinion.
I didn't wear one until they made it mandatory
Me either.
because I'm looking at people with knitted scarves around their face, and you can see their skin up under it. I can see people with like the carpenter's mask, like where if you're going to be spray painting or like sanding something, a lot of dust particles. That shit's not meant. That stuff's not meant to get that kind of stuff out.
No,
So
and
I knew
again,
they were just playing with it.
when you exhale, you're not exhaling through a filter.
We had to drop off some packages at Walgreens today because that's where the FedEx pickup is.
Yeah, we forgot
And
our
we
masks.
forgot to put our masks in. I walked in, put the package on the counter, turned around and walked out. And I'm walking away from it. And I hear these people like, well, if there's a sign on the door that says it's mandatory, I'd put it on. I'm like, what in the hell are they talking about? I'm like, oh my God, the mask. And I just totally just went in there, sans mask, totally forgot, went in, put my package down and went back out. And Jim did the same thing. He forgot to put his mask on too.
But you know what? That manager probably really didn't give a damn because he was making a little money.
I don't know.
And his
Yeah,
store is still open because
I set it down. I just set it down where I always set it down, turned around and left because I don't wait or anything. And I didn't even think about it until I'm walking. I hear these people saying mandatory. What the hell are they talking? I'm like, oh my God, the freaking mask. I forgot. Me and Jim were talking in the truck and I totally forgot to put it on.
know.
And we are mandatory to wear the mask for a month. And I think we're like 2 weeks in now, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they'll probably end up. But yeah, they made it mandatory where you had to be, if you're in public, you have to have a mask on.
They're going to make it. They're going to drag this thing out.
Yeah.
But there's some Republican states. The governor is it's like we are wearing masks.
Well, I think you've got the media has got it in people's heads. I mean, because if you look at like CNN, it's all they report. I mean, everything's COVID, COVID, COVID.
Okay, if I was the governor of the great state of North Carolina, Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays the grocery stores would be open, and drugstores would be open, and that's all. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, everything else could be open, plus drugstores. But drugstores could only sell health-related items. And Saturday would be nobody. If you caught on the road, you better be going to some kind of job. Sundays, you better be going to some kind of job, or you're going to be ticketed because your ass needs to be at home. That's the thing right there. People need to be staying home. And at no time have people stayed home around here.
Yeah,
Oh,
but,
you're no fun as
I mean, all
governor.
this stuff
I'm not
uptown,
voting for you.
the regular flu, the amount of people dying from the regular flu is way down because of the masks and everybody staying home. Oh no, wait a minute. It's exactly the same rate. Actually, might be a little bit elevated from last year. So if all these masks and people staying home and all this horse shit's doing anything, how come people are still getting regular flu? Because it's the same stuff you do to stop the regular flu. It ain't working for regular flu. It ain't gonna work for COVID neither. You're gonna get it at some point.
And I say that because I think it's all a bunch of crap. People do need to, they need to stay out of groups and stuff like
If
that.
you really thought that staying home would work, they would have told you couldn't go to Walmart.
Well, I think it was New Jersey. In New Jersey, they were just about to kill people because they were closing. They had the non-food section of the Walmart roped off. And
They did in some states try to shut down the non-essential part of Walmart. They didn't do it here, and I can tell you, it never slowed down. You really helped Walmart during this. I mean, Walmart did gangbusters for.
Yeah, you got a hobby store and a craft store right next door to the Walmart. They got to close, and Walmart's selling stuff out of their hobby. They're wiped out, and their needle and thread and yarn and all that stuff because everybody's just buying the stuff from Walmart. Yeah. I mean, Walmart's in tight with the government, but this is getting ridiculous. I mean, Walmart got such an unfair advantage during this whole thing.
Yeah, that's the reason I say it needs to be looked at closer. They're playing with it. That's all they're doing is playing with it. They're not going to do anything that will jeopardize their ability to be reelected.
That's right. Yeah, it's been politicized and weaponized.
Wow.
If I was governor and you talked to somebody from North Carolina and said, "So how's that governor work out?" They would be going, "He is such an asshole." Oh, and I'd be going, "Yeah, that's me because I don't care whether I get reelected or not." I mean, that's all it's about is they're scared they're not going to get reelected. I mean, our city council is catching hell because of the $180 million that we're not going to be getting because we're not having the full Republican convention here.
Oh, yeah, you lost that. I forgot. Well, Wisconsin lost.
No, it's going to be 1 day or 2 days. Yeah. That's all.
Yeah, Wisconsin, Milwaukee is supposed to have the DNC one, which I think is going to be very limited. And Milwaukee County up there, they have like mandatory masks up there because it's gotten bad, I guess, in southeast Wisconsin.
I'm going to tell you one thing. They're only going to be up here 2 years. And I mean, 2 months, 2 days, blah, 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 2 days. I know the picketers are going to be there, the protesters. If they don't have flipping mask on and they're in groups of bigger than 10, if they don't start arresting people, there's going to be problems.
Yeah. Well, they'll have masks on. Those protesters will.
And I'm getting to the point where I hate hearing anything by CNN.
I don't listen to your first.
Because
I don't listen to CNN at all.
The polls are saying such and such. The polls are saying this. The polls are saying that. Dude, let's back up to 2016.
Yeah, but okay, you got to watch
the poll said Hillary was cleaning his clock.
Okay, Jim just heard. Hey, Jim. Hey, Jim. Oh, God. He's going to tell you about this when he comes back. I'll remind him. Because he just heard about this always this 8-point behind stuff. Anyway, I don't know. Up here,
Joanna, if anybody else accuses you being part of the KKK, say, look, I'm a Republican, not a Democrat.
If the KKK was so strong, don't you think with all this stuff going on, you'd have them doing their rallies too?
if
I'm
it
not
was
saying there isn't stupid people out there that say stupid stuff, but I mean, for organization thing, I don't think the KKK has that kind of organization right now.
people just need to grow the hell up. The crappy news network. I mean, it's all a bunch of bullshit. They're not focusing on stuff they need to be focusing on. And I think it's going to, I got a text message today from the candidate that's running, the Republican candidate that's running against AOC, wanting $10, $25, $50.
Oh,
I
really?
told Roberta, I said, send them a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Well, we're not in their voter district because I'm one of these firm. I believe that unless you are an eligible voter for a candidate, you shouldn't be donating money to them. I mean, you should not be able to donate money to them. So anyway, she said, but we're not in their district. I said, I don't care. It don't make a difference to anybody else. Send them a little bit of money.
Hey, do you have Tim Scott, or is he in South Carolina?
He's in South Carolina.
Oh, I like him.
Yeah, but he's an Uncle Tom. I mean, that's what they call him.
I know.
I find that offensive because I'm an Uncle Tom, and his name's not even Tom.
Yeah, but if you listen to him talk, I agree with a lot of the stuff he talks.
Oh, I know. I'm just making a joke about the fact
Yeah.
that they call him Uncle Tom.
They got this in Louisville. This is where that Breonna Taylor was shot. And I saw on my Facebook feed they have armed, like, BLM militia or whatever. They might be call themselves something different. They say if those officers aren't arrested, they're going to start burning Louisville.
I didn't know you had a phone repair business, Joanna. I thought you were just a stay-at-home mom, Susie, homemaker, baking apple pies, putting up apples. But it's going to be, well, I'm attempting to get 4 million confirmed voters for North Carolina by building a network. And I want everybody to vote. The first time we can do early voting, I want everybody to vote. So when they on election night, when they start releasing the North Carolina ballots, all those early voting will go right in at the beginning, and they'll say, "Well, North Carolina's done."
We got Mitch McConnell here, and I saw something where they're saying like George Soros has dumped like $5 million in this Amy McGrath Mitch McConnell race to try to get rid of Mitch McConnell.
Joanna, she said, "Vote early and often."
Yeah.
Well, that's like the thing that was going around on YouTube. If I should die before election day, make sure I don't vote Democrat.
Well, this is back when Jim was doing real estate. He had these hardcore Democrats he'd sold a house to. And they're doing some showings, and their residence was down by Madison, Wisconsin. They owned a lake house in northern Wisconsin, a vacation home, and then they also owned a winter vacation place, like I don't know if it was Branson, Missouri, or if it was Arkansas. It was down in the Ozarks somewhere. They would vote in Madison because that was their residence, and then they would get absentee ballots for the other two and vote there too. So they'd vote twice in Wisconsin, and then they were voting once in either Arkansas or Missouri.
Now, in South Carolina, they have a voter They have a voter ID card. It looks like a driver's license, but it says voter ID on it, and it's issued by the state for free.
Well, in Wisconsin, and this would have been years ago, but up until like 4 years ago or 5 years ago, you didn't even have to show your ID when you went and voted. To register as a new voter, I don't even think you had to show an ID. You had to show like a power bill.
You have never voted before. I hope you're only like 20 years old. Them flipping crooters. Is that pronounced right? Crooters? How about say yes or no? Because I'm from the South and we destroy people's last names. Okay, just making sure. Illinois, that's Chicago, right? Yeah, Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah, but Illinois is a big state. Chicago's up at the top by like
Yeah.
Michigan.
And Detroit, Michigan. Detroit's got it bad. I was watching this thing on YouTube about their school monies and spending all these millions being spent. Nobody knows what the hell happened to it. Okay, well, you know what? I'm ashamed. You need to get out there and vote. And happy birthday a day late.
Jim was born in Chicago.
Well, that's the reason they kicked him out, because he's a Republican. And you're a Wisconsin girl.
Yeah, I was born in Wisconsin. Jim moved to Wisconsin when he was 5, but no, he's a Flatlander.
Well, do they have mountains or close to it where y'all were living when
We don't
y'all
have
moved to Kentucky?
no, not really. I mean, you got like the porcupines up by the UP, but no, we don't have like mountains like y'all got.
Okay.
In Wisconsin. There might be some hills.
I can't believe there's still 18 people listening to us.
Oh,
Oh, you're in Minnesota. Minnesota. Who's in Minnesota?
well, Nikki's from Minnesota.
Yeah,
Well,
Duluth.
Nikki is on the border. Superior, Wisconsin is like right across the border to Duluth, Minnesota.
Yeah, that's right. Duluth. Did you find any mushrooms this year, Joanna? I like those videos. I ended up poisoning myself.
Yeah, I don't eat mushrooms. I don't like
What?
mushrooms.
She was finding the ones that she sells for big money.
Yeah, the morels.
Yeah. See, I would not go hunting for mushrooms. There's something that they hunt for up in the North Carolina mountains. And I can't remember what it is, but it's a type of mushroom and they sell for big bucks. But I'd be scared I would
I thought
poison
you were
someone.
going to say it's ginseng.
Yes, I know you did, Joanna. I know you did a live haul video, and I found it very interesting, and I commented on it. It's I mean, you know, I know that's only a summertime, I guess a summertime thing about finding the mushrooms.
It's like a springtime thing, isn't it?
Oh, is it? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's.
It's she's an industrious lady. She does all kinds of stuff. What was her name? Rebecca. Are you up near Duluth or are you at the other end? Well, that's cool, Joanna, that you've been doing it all these years. Are you teaching the kids?
Well, she's St. Cloud. That's over there by the Twin. That's the Twin Cities.
Do what?
Oh no, it was St. Cloud over there towards Minneapolis.
Oh, middle. Okay. Oh, St. Cloud area. Okay. Well, it is 12:40,
Yeah, it's getting to be past my bedtime.
and yeah. Are you getting used to the time change?
Yeah, it don't bother me none.
Okay. Because
Yeah,
it'll be on
I'm not living on Central Time anymore.
it'd be 11:40.
Yeah, it's funny because a half hour south of me, Greensburg, they're Central Time.
Really?
Yeah, I'm Eastern, but they're like Central Time, which is kind of would be a pain in the ass because if you live in Greensburg, you're probably gonna come up to Campbellsville more, so now you have to like plan everything out because you're on Eastern Time. They call it slow time or fast time here. They'll be like, okay, 11:30 fast time or 11:30 slow time. That's what they call it.
All righty, guys, ladies, everybody in the chat. I appreciate you all hanging with us. There's still 17 people in there.
Yeah, hardcore.
So if all of you 17 people would say good night, I would know who was in here, unless you're lurking, and that's okay. Yeah, but you're on that fake time, Joanna. She says 7:41 here.
Yeah.
No, Joanna, right beside your name is a time. Does it say 11:41 or 12? Oh, it's never mind. It doesn't show it on the regular YouTube channel. On mine it says 12:41. So anyway, thank you for coming in, Rebecca and Joanna and Cindy Y. We appreciate it. I appreciate it. And 1212 resale. Appreciate all you guys. And I forgot about that. All right. Good night, everybody.
All right.